Deyo, adase, wiva, inyase. Assistant, of the bonnet, Raymond, Aminata, Chada, Skip, Bijou, Anna, Maria. Roba, Bubul, Yondela, Norma, Musaka, Yeyu, Mulapa, La Panthère, Osaka, Expedito, Otto Joël.
And it's time to say hello word and welcome to another exciting edition of the program Ashford, Garley Live. Hey, like always, man, like I told you yesterday, Facebook has blocked me. I am not able to share the video until April. I don't know for what reason somebody who did things that Facebook belongs to them decided to do that to me. So I ask not to only enjoy the show by yourselves, but share the video by inviting a few friends as well so that we can together have a great time tonight. Okay? Just so you know, I have no option of sharing the video, and they attempted last night. They blocked up, they shut down the video twice last night, and we had to leave prematurely last night. But we're working on some things, you know. The hackers think they know what they're doing, but we're working on some things. All right. But in the meantime, I'm asking you to please do all of us a favor by sharing the video. We have a lot of interesting things to talk about tonight. You remember on June 6th, President George Weah said, anyone who insults the president would not walk freely in Liberia. And today, his supporters are going after people. I watched a very disturbing video today where supporters of George Weah were questioning, harassing, beating this young man and raining insults at him, asking him why are you insulting the president? So we can't express ourselves freely now in Liberia. Is it what everything had gone to now? You remember in the 80s when Samuel Doe overthrew President Tolbert, and soldiers taking instructions from Samuel Doe was raping women in the presence of their husbands. And in the event where the husband said something, they ended up getting killed. Until the justice ministers at the time, Chair Chipo, started executing those people, a firing squad. Then they seized a little bit. Even people were afraid to even loot. Under the administration of Justice Minister Chair Chipo. Right now, Liberia is in a complete anarchy. These people that are suffering in Liberia, that can't find food to eat, They will do anything for George Weah. This man has promised to destroy Liberia. And George Weah will go down in history as the worst thing that ever happened to Liberia. Again, I don't have that option to share the video. Please invite a few friends so that we can together have a great time tonight. Very shortly, we're going to introduce the lineup for both countries. Then we're going to play the national anthem for both countries, play the political stuff again at halftime. We will be asking you the question. You, our supporters and viewers, about the statement George Weah made on the 6th of June when he went to delegate the Dupogo market, where George Weah said anybody that insults him will not walk freely in Liberia. And today, you saw that happen. And this is just the beginning. When I said to you a few weeks ago that between 1 a.m. and 5 a.m., all kinds of bad things are happening in Liberia, you think we were joking? No, we weren't. These people have planned to destroy this country. Now, when you see the president speaks like this, that when you insult me, you will not walk freely in the country. What is in this that will attract investors? Nobody is coming into your country to invest in your country, my brother. Where you can look at an innocent citizen because he's frustrated, there's no gas in the country. Did you know that it will cost you $400 Liberian dollars to move from Freeport to Dry Rest Market? Just today, $400 from Freeport to Dry Rest Market. 3,500 Liberian dollars for a gallon of gas in Bangkok. That is, if you can find it. I mean, this is something confirmed, I'm telling you now. But this man is thinking about retreat for CDC. Is CDC better than Liberia? Some of you think we're joking, and some of you think we hit this president. We're done. But the man does not know what he's doing. And this is not good for Liberia. This is not good for our international partners. How can we attract investors under this condition? And then when people talk, they'll say, oh, the man, that jealous. Jealous of what? You got government officials in that country that can barely take the suit they wear. They can't even take to the cleaner. So when they wear the same suit 4 or 5 days in a week until the suit starts to smell on them. Then you say we're jealous. You see me taking my bucket. You got Jefferson Koji complaining and asking, oh, so like him going in America, eh? What I can go say? Then you want me to trade America for Liberia. When we say these things, it's not about me. I am comfortable. I can eat what I want to eat, wear what I want to wear, drink what I want to drink. I have options. When my 30-year-old son, hair starts to hurt, he said, Daddy, I want to go to the clinic. Grown men get up in the morning in Liberia. The first thing that comes to mind is food. Where would they get food from? The whole country. Government lying to you. No gas in the country. One day they come and say, y'all will be here tomorrow. Y'all will be here next week. Y'all will be here in 2 weeks. And you think this is a joke. This is a national crisis that we're going through right now. The country has collapsed on a George Weah. Today is Armed Forces Day. George Weah has not said anything, even though George Weah said on June 6th that if anybody insults the president, you will not walk freely in Liberia. Today, a young man was attacked. You saw the video. We are going to be playing the video later on at halftime. This president has not said anything. How can you attract investors? In the 21st century, you are beating people, you are torturing people because they disagree with you. Look, I am going to give you a few lists of torture. And then when Chris Smith, the U.S. Congressman, mentioned torture, you think torturing a joke? Where you're on a phone now, in some instances, as it relates to what torture, they give you honey. They mix the honey with milk and say you should drink it all day. At the end of the day, your stomach starts to run. In the real world, they call it diarrhea. That's another form of torture. They will take a hot iron, measure the size of your breast, put that hot iron in the fire. The iron gets extremely hot, and pour that iron on your chest. Squeeze it and tickle your breast. That's another form of torture. The thing that people used to do in Liberia during the war, Dofa Tabe, that torture. They put you in the room, they paint the wall with whitewash, no windows. They put you in white clothes. Then they say you must play tate by yourself and lock you up. No food. That's another form of torture. And they got all the names of torture. I am so angry today. I intend not to be a little emotional, but in this day and age, what we are seeing in Liberia is far from civilization. We're asking God to help us. I cannot do this program without your help, especially those of our fans and supporters. You know, the little $5 and $10 and $20 you put in our cash app would help us. We have a team on the ground in Liberia that operates the website, that brings you up-to-date information and the things happening in Liberia. Those people need internet connectivity. They need gas to move around. We have to help them out. So we're not forcing you, we're not asking you. We are only appealing to you to help us reach radio so that we can shoulder some of the responsibilities that we have here. To sit down for 3-4 hours is not an easy task. Especially for almost every day. You have to go out there, you got to engage your brain and come out to educate the people. Because if we don't, the government listen, they have a very lazy PR. They don't know what they're doing. So, we need you to be informed. Having said that, folks, let me link controls with my friend and brother, the country correspondent, Mr. Habiba Clinton. He's on the line from Liberia. Habiba, good evening and welcome to the show.
Good evening, Ashford. Good evening, everyone.
Habiba, how was your night, my man?
Well, not that bad. We cannot complain. Like the situation on the ground, it's just about our movement being impeded, but it's being impeded by the issue of gasoline. Where in the case of the step that you will take from here, maybe a 1 mile coverage, maybe you're going to be paying something like 400 to 150. things not it's not really okay at this moment. So we pray that there'll be a betterment ahead of time very soon.
Yes, I got a call from the guy from Freeport headed. He was headed to what the place named Dry Rice Market, and they were asking him to pay $400 Liberian. $400 just from Freeport to Dry Rice Market. You know Dry Rice Market, and then in Banka, 3,500 Liberian dollars for the gallon of gas. That if you can find it. Well, today we saw a video image where the supporters of George Weah were very angry, insulting this person, calling him out of his name, using all the letters in the book. Why are you insulting the president? And they were instructing the rest of the people who were around him to take care of him. We have not heard George Weah through his spokespeople to say something. Because this is how things happen in Liberia. And if you don't say anything, the person disappeared for good. What do you know so far, Habiba?
Yeah, a lot of people been following the event you just described on the radio about this issue of a group of guys who form themselves to be like the loyalists, a complete fanatic to this government, trying to bring down somebody in a shameful way or denigrating somebody by this saying, or a group of people saying this government is insignificant, the government is not worth to be a government for the people. There have been some too many saying that led to that that denigration. And of course, you said it from the earlier stage in your introductory aspect of the program. Liberia is the issue of democracy. We are not going, or we are not practicalizing labor democracy at this moment. And there have been many things been happening in this country, but now it's coming to fruition by coming to light. So let the people get to know that some of those things are of reality. It's not about just implicating somebody into things that they are not involved with. The issue of this guy who was attacked by the loyalists of the division, it was something like he was trying to express himself, and he's not feeling fine. Like just what we put about the issue of gasoline, the prices of commodities, the movement of people, and it's a severe constraint. So people want to take. Not everyone will take the same turn into addressing issues. So some people will come out with their own anger. So constructively, when you engage in these kind of people, you're not supposed to go and attack them. We wait to see tomorrow, but totally, that action was totally wrong. I'm not going to say the way being I'm a journalist, so I will not be able to tell you I'm a judge. I'm not a judge, but that was very immoral, Ashford. So there will be too many combative talk tomorrow on the Bureau radio station that I expect. And as you brought it forth, but a lot of people keep discussing about that at this moment.
Well, and somebody saying, especially Matilda Williams is saying the video just didn't happen recently, but at least, it was brought to our attention for the first time that we have to speak about this. We have folks here now on the field, Mr. Othello Grisby, G. Othello Yenin is also here. Matilda Williams, thank you so much for coming. Mr. Raphael Roberts, he said, I am sitting at gate 18 with my nursing home bed waiting to take George Weah to the nursing home because we're having a seizure here. And we'll also have Suleiman Render. He's watching from the UK. Suleiman, how you doing? He said, how you doing? He said, hey, big brother. And then we have Martina Boyenplo, there's also yet as well. We also have David Vesely. Mr. Garley, I'm really proud of what you are doing, what you do, and what you stand for in life. You are the first Southeasterner who continues to preach sincerity. Let God bless your heart. You are like old man Zawi. May God bless you in your endeavors. That's our brother David Vesely. Pamela King is also here. We also see Royal Gloria. Royal Gloria, and the kind of the girl says, and the pooch. There you go. Oh, yes, Royal Gloria Alpha Tilo. And if that one would do it. Then we have Catherine and Jones. Look at that time. I am reaching on the field because of gas business. I am here after 3 hours of walking. Can you imagine? People are coming to the field of play and then they can't get away on the field because of the shortage of gasoline. And folks, please share the video. Again, I am told I have been blocked by Facebook, so I can't share the video. So I'll be depending on you to do that for us. Mr. Buster T. Hennings Jr. has joined. Letty Brooks Rebels will give us a signal and when she gets ready to come up. Mr. James Dover. Listen, this guy was my classmate back in the early 80s in Grand Judah County, Zia Town, at the Albert Memorial Institute. So when the Moses T. Brooks did in the Albert Memorial Institute. Mr. James Dover, he's based out of Rhode Island, and he's on the field here tonight. Miss Bastina Command, she said, hello, hey Ashford, how you doing? She's watching from Chicago. And we'll also have Samuel Nugovo sitting in VIP. I don't know, with 80-12-12. But I said, Samuel, who put you in VIP? You ain't buy your VIP ticket, you say you're in VIP. This Samuel Ngofo guy get drafted, and I beat Barima Benda. You know, he's here too, but we're gonna give him a pass on that in VIP. But he's still, we're still looking forward to hearing from him. That my man Abi Barima, and I'm telling you, the small little thing that you do via Cash App, that how would still own. And you know, we the government is supporting the politician, then the state trying to find a way around. So you know, we in it here, we just hustling on our own. So, but if we don't come on, you'll be calling us. Oh, what happened to the football game? We can't get a football game. But do you know what we can do? They have pre-production, production, and post-production. They're just journalistic terms I'm giving you. To come on. Something not happening. Somebody did something. Pamela King just did something just now. Pamela, we want to say a big thanks to you. A big thanks to you, Pamela King. Bio guy that she just contributed to the cash. I want to say the big thanks to you, my sister. Then we'll also have Favor Holly. Please don't protest. Don't protest. Don't protest, Favor. Agba Mobilu is also, this is a new week now, so y'all got to do something, you know, because they give some people who selling 3-4 markets there, and they're acting that they're selling because they don't want in VIP. You selling around the field. You on gate 9, gate 14, but you are not paying for the booth. You haven't visited the cash app. Then you expect us to keep telling the people that you selling. The Francis Thompson Brown now. Hey brother, I'm watching the game from gate 7. But the sedition are here stealing from people checking, you know, around. We want to do the thing. You can be around the field, around a stadium wing, but you have to pay for the booth now. You can't just come in the studio that in the booth that, you know. Johnny Shower. We will share the video, my dear brother, he says. Mr. John Green is also here. And folks, I'm telling you, very shortly, we're going to bring you the line. Mr. Henry Dubois, they call him Bello. He's in the building. My lovely sister, Terry Quiet is also here. Tode Drot Naga. This is my blood brother, you know. And sometimes you know, few months ago you heard me use a name called Harry Naga. Naga is my name. I would not come here and I would never come on here and use a fake name. I'm not into that. And I want to break this down to you, my people. Stop being a coward. Stop being a sycophant. Mr. Abraham Bartlett, what do I need to get on the field to play? I am a goalkeeper. You gotta register. First, you gotta buy a jersey. when you buy a jersey first now, then you gotta register. My brother, Abraham, when you do that, then you would be there, you know. And at this time, we also want to say a big thanks to somebody just visited the Cash App. I heard that sound. You know, I love to hear that Cash App sound. Somebody just visited the Cash App. Let me see who that person is. And I believe it's Catherine Jones. Thank you so much, Catherine Jones. You know, when I say some people are cowards, you know how many people will call me and say, I send you my contribution, but don't call my name because I'm speaking against George Weah. I understand how you feel, but I would have done it a lot, I would have done it differently. I ain't got no fake name. Even when I go on the post, when I go on in the chat of the solution, I make them know who's on there and who's talking. Sometimes we ought to stand for something. But when we keep hiding behind the scene, don't get scared now. I will not call your name because I need you to continue to support me. Now, if I call your name now, you'll be scared to support me. I know you say I shouldn't call your name. And the other night, our brother made a mistake. Stonebridge made a mistake. He said George Weah was in Ghana, you know, because he was suffering from liver. He urgently needed a liver transplant, you know, and you should have seen the cowards or the sycophants. Then they say they want to pray for George Weah. Let me tell you, I don't sugarcoat anything. If that was the case, I was not going to be praying for George Weah because George Weah is not doing well for my country. If the heart God said George Weah should go, I will not fool myself to say I'm going to pray for George Weah. I will just say, I'll put my head down and pray and say, hey, God, carry him fast. That's what I would have said. Some of you are pretending you're praying for George Weah. Hey, you get well. Hey, the president. When deep down your heart, you know that you want the man to die. That's what you praying for. That's what you want. You rather want happen. But you're acting like, oh, something. No. I am a porcupine God. I am too juicy to get rid of and too bitter to swallow. No matter who you are, I will tell you as it is. Because George Weah puts on his pants one leg at a time. Most of you guys do the same. Why should you be afraid of George Weah? Who the hell is George Weah? This damn criminal? George Weah is a common criminal. George Weah has been stealing for a very long time. Not because you started stealing because he's personal. The man was stealing for the Lone Star. George Weah will go and take a few players, buy a cheap ticket for them. And then we build it like when government and say they were in first class or business class. He gets the money and pocket the money because he was a very big name in soccer. This is the kind of person I have no respect for George Weah because of the criminality. This man is the worst thing that ever happened to Liberia. And then sometimes when I say, why did we do the Ellen Johnson shall leave? For the woman to do this to us, some of you people start to complain. But at the end of the day, George Weah is not the right person for our country. Having said that, the opposition, you are in the perfect position to unseat George Weah. That is, if he makes it to 2023. But you have to put your house in order. If you really want George Weah to be a one-term president. If you don't do that, most of us will be here in America, will go to nursing home, they will be putting dappers on us. George Weah will be president for life. I'm telling you real talk. You people have got to put your eye together if you want to unseat George Weah in 2023. And that is if George Weah makes it to 2023. People can get, a lot of people don't have vehicles in Liberia. You know why they build some of these homes and some of the places in Liberia without car garage and place to park? Because we think small. We thought we will never own vehicle, we will never own car in our whole life. So when you build a house, you just build a house, you don't even think about garage. You don't even think about parking space. That's the mindset. When Liberia was established, the local people in the country never thought Liberians were going to be able to afford to drive car in that country. And that's why today, when you go on Broad Street, you don't got parking space. You go on Kerry Street, no parking space. You downtown Monrovia, Kerry Street. Rainy season, you got water stopping to your waist. People coming from all over the place. The city is overcrowded because everybody thinks it's supposed to be in Monrovia. Again, Samuel Doe was advised by his people that he was going to be president for life. He came 1980. 10 years later, there's no Samuel Doe. When Charles Taylor was president in Liberia, we thought we were going to live with this for the rest of our lives. Look around you. There's no Charles Taylor today. Some of the people who were government officials in Charles Taylor's government are beggars today. I mean, every time I freaking Liberia, I got to help them with pocket change. And these were people who thought they were all that. They were sleeping with 4 or 5 girls in one night. Today, they are begging. The same girls they used to sleep with back then, when the girls see them, now they get a runaway. In this George Weah administration, everybody just fighting among themselves. Or everybody just fighting about his or herself. Jefferson Koji went to Minnesota in Peso City House. The moment he got up from there, he started calling a friend and said, "Oh, they get a general minister the way she close to the paper that they are thought that something, but she living here and that low income housing she living in, and in fact the house so dirty, people saying all over the place, the naked rock, everything just dirty. When you go in the bathroom, just nobody can tell about that." Because as a woman, she chose to be in Liberia. What time does Mafita have to clean up the house when he got to go scam people and do black money business and all that kind of stuff? So the same girl that was hosting Jefferson Koji, taking him all over the place from Minnesota to Washington, D.C. to California, Jefferson Koji is on the phone telling people that Peso City Tar House is so nasty and dirty. She can't even take care of her own house in America. These people are fighting among themselves. I'm telling you. But at the end of the day, folks, we have Liberia. And don't say the person taking it personal. Nobody taking it personal. When you decide to go into politics, your life is not private anymore. Because the people you decide to fight for, when you are hurting the people, especially Peso City Tar, you come to Liberia as the Minnesota general, and you bring all your close friends from Minnesota and award them the consultancy jobs at the ministry where they're making $3,000-4,000 when the people that started the struggle can't get paid. They can't even find food to eat. And you call this a country? This is a country to be. Liberia is not an outside toilet. Liberia is a country friend. And folks, Habiba Clinton from Liberia will come in, and then I will not introduce the national anthem for both countries. We'll do the first half, and then we'll come back and ask you the question. You remember George Weah said, "You will not walk freely in the streets or in Liberia if you insult him." George Weah was on record when he said that. When he went to delegate the Dupero market, he said nobody will walk free when you insult the president. You will not go freely. And today, people who support George Weah are taken to the streets, are beating people, are torturing people. They want to see you killed today because you disagree with George Weah, because you peacefully express yourself in terms of a disagreement with this president, and you think you're going to you attract investors to come to the country? It's not going to happen. Not now, not later either, Mr. Habiba Clinton.
Yeah, we just a bit scary because come Saturday they're gonna begin their retreat, and how things gonna be like. For especially for reporters, what are some of those things that they're gonna put into place to protect reporters, because no one seems to accept the reality in terms of criticism, or maybe being very objective to saying some of those happenings that need to be addressed, and let the people who are following on to consume so they can make their own input. And that's a bit worrisome. And we hope that the president, and his able lieutenants will be able to think in that rightful direction, as they were talking about reconciliation. But they are not doing too much about reconciliation. They are not reconciliatory. They will need to work on themselves. Something serious, I'm saying, from the point of view, what we see every day, what I can see when I'm traveling from one end to another in the city. And if you don't care for it, you just want to be mute, but you need to do the piece of work at time. And something needs to be done about free speech. It's just a saying, but the means of people applying that and being brave to say it the way they want to say it is not applicable as it should be. So we really need to be talking about this over and over. That's why
I got you loud and clear. That's the voice of Mr. Habiba Clinton from Liberia. And then again, nothing works in this country. So my system is acting up in Liberia. When you bring your equipment in Liberia and the sun gets so hot, there's no way you can you can boot the system. But let's see if we can make contact with the lady of the night, our sister Letitia, the Letitia Rabbits. We still can make contact with her. We're trying to make contact with her now. We hope that she's well situated to join the podcast right now. I believe she has joined. Letitia, are you there? And we're calling her. And okay, I think she has joined the podcast. Letitia Rabbits, hello and welcome to the show, my sister.
Good evening, Mr. Garley. How are you?
You sound upbeat.
Yeah.
You sound upbeat. Bring us up to speed. What is going on right now from information highway?
Well, Mr. Garley, I'm just settling in. May you please come back to me as I prepare my notes. I want to say good evening to all of you, and I feel the same way you do. But you, of course, have the courage to say it like you mean it, and that's what we're talking about. You have to have balls. And I'm coming to you from the Garden State, New Jersey, but I will pause and come back to me, say 10 minutes or 5 minutes after you have introduced your game, please.
Thank you. And folks, that's the voice of Mrs. Letitia Brooks Roberts. She's coming to us from Information Highway. And let us quickly take a look at the lineups for both countries. We'll first begin with the strangers. Now we have rhetoric. In Liberia, they say that rhetorics. So we have rhetoric. We also have economic sabotage. And then we have theft of property. We also have criminal conspiracy and misapplication of entrusted funds. We also have ghost employees. You have people who are believed to be relatives of the president, but they're in other parts of the world, but they're on the payroll in Liberia. They question the previous administrations. They've gotten power, and this is what the Liberian people get in return. Then we also have power theft. If you are the Speaker of the House of Representatives, why should they mention your name in stealing light? You're stealing electricity now. The Speaker of all people, my people. He has over $1 million in the budget for him. You know, this sense of entitlement in that country has got to stop. That's why we need somebody who knows how to manage something. If you never managed your own house before, how can you manage a whole country? You have people who manage institutions who are multi-millionaires today. They are knocking on the doors of the presidency. But because we're Liberians, we can't see the light. We love to be lied to. Let's just get a bad chance. The both people came, they did that, but let's just give him a chance. That's just who we are, Liberians. We're so gullible. And this would not improve our country. Then we have dig hole, cover hole. You steal from Paul to pay Peter. Dig hole, cover hole is a very dangerous player on the field today, folks. We have got to be very careful with dig hole, cover hole. Then we also have borrowing initiative. You, my big brother, are living with you. You say, Ashford, please don't wear my shirt. By the time you put on your clothes and go to work, I go in the closet and take your shirt without telling you. Then when you see me in the clothes, my girlfriend, you say, but Ashford, I didn't tell you to take my shirt. Then I say, brother, I borrow it. How can you borrow something without asking me? That's what George Weah did. This is the man who you said that was racial that made $80 million. He squandered his money because of mental illness. Today, they say, send the both people giving us hard time. Let us just put in and door there to be president. This man went to World Bank, the World Bank's conference, stole from the World Bank. He didn't only steal money. He stole the laptops they had there. He didn't stop there. He went to the donors funds and also stole money. When your international partners start to ask you about, I mean, I didn't ask you to take the money, man. Please put the money back. What a disgrace. You want to question Stoneberg because Stoneberg, somebody lied to Stoneberg, but the man who steal from you every day and walk up with his chest up high as if he didn't do anything to you, you'll continue to support him. I heard the other clown saying, my Kiasa will not vote for George Weah. Now you know your Kia will not vote for George Weah. When we were telling you people that this man does not mean well for the country, that today you're saying your Kiasa will not vote for George Weah. You will still on inside. You will balance. And let me see my mom boyfriend call me to tell me, say, I'm hungry and get food to eat. Then after you told me a few months ago that I should get George Weah a chance, that you're a member of CDC, go to George Weah. Yeah. My wife is high maintenance. The small money I get, I will take care of my wife and take care of the house here. And I send it to you, especially when you supported George Weah. Don't bring that nonsense to me. We also have wasteful spending. No light in the country. No water. No medication. Hospitals are shutting down because there's not enough fuel to run the generators. But George Weah can spend $270,000 just within 2 days to go to Guinea at the expense of Liberia and the poor Liberian people. But yet, you say the man means well for the country. We also have witch hunt. George Weah did not say this to me. He said this to the rest of the world. That anybody who calls him out of his name, you will not walk freely in Liberia. Because of that statement, they are witch hunting people today in Liberia. All the bad things begin to happen in Liberia between 1 a.m. and 5 a.m. They are doing all kinds of wicked things. They are killing people. They are sleeping with people's wives. They are sleeping with underage girls. All because they have the power. You remember when Michelle Obama said, power does not change people. Power reveals who you really are. But George Weah was revealed a long time ago when he played for the Lone Star team. When you disagree with George Weah as a player of Lone Star, he will bench you. You will not play for the team. You will not play for Lone Star. That's the kind of person he is. George Weah is vindictive. George Weah is very divisive. George Weah is a tribalist. Look around you. Look at the government officials. Look at those who are in top positions in the country. They're all from the southeast. Lepose Babon, aka Samuel Toy, brought his niece from the southeast to stay with him and go to school. The moment the girl started going to school, the girl started wearing her wet lipstick. If you saw the how they call the thing, the Kereku Baboon that I posted right near Samuel Toy, that Samuel Toy niece, he brought a girl from the southeast. The girl started living with him. Now the girl went to school now. The first thing she saw, other people with lipstick, she herself won't wear lipstick too. Baboon wearing lipstick now in the country. Now the kind of nonsense we have to deal with in that country there, called Liberia. They will also have tribalism. If you're not from the same tribe like me, I will not give you a job. When they appointed the central bank governor, Aloysius Talu, what did he say? He said, I am not a cooper. I am not a dentist. I am a Talu. Most of the people that here you see here, so they will soon be gone. And we thought they were just talking in the presence of Grangidians. But guess what? My old friend and brother from Conolai, Gus Tilley, was in Atlanta, Georgia. The next thing I know, Gus Tilley was on the flight to Liberia. A week later, Gus Tilley was also on the flight to Abuja on the first class seat in a 5-star hotel with Aloysius Talu. Come to find out, Aloysius Talu's mother and Gus Tilley's father are siblings. So he brought his first cousin to work with him at Central Bank. He didn't want to stop there. He wanted to bring his niece called Adole. She's in Atlanta, Georgia now. Wanted to go there to work for him. The guy said, no, I got a good job. I can't leave my husband to go to the library to work for George Weah. The man wants to hire only crown people. And the reason why I'm saying this is this country is not just for people from the southeast. It's for the 15 political subdivisions. There are qualified people in Nima. There are people in Lofa, Grand Bassat, Cape Mount, Montserrat. Make good use of the expertise of those people. Not because somebody did it before, it means you should do it. You remember in the 80s, when Samuel Doe was president of Liberia. Samuel Kanya Doe was president of Liberia. His wife, Nancy Doe, sent a lot of people on scholarship. Most of the people that came on the scholarship back then, they didn't even take the test. But because they came from the Crown tribe and they were relatives of Nancy Doe, they gave them scholarship. And you will be shocked. Most of them came here, went to school, got a PhD. They turned their back on Liberia. They never thought about Liberia anymore. Some of them couldn't differentiate A from Bofra. So school was not their thing, but they remained in America. And we all start pushing cartoon. Listen to some of the names of the people that benefited from the scholarship of Nancy Doe. Ted Doe, Ase Val, Gay D. Slair, Nora Jacob, Thomas Lamina, Thomas Weir, Josephine William Roller, Matthew Sawyer, Emma Breeze, Esther Talu, Mary Camo, Patrick Zier, Dukwi Boa, David Cowell, the late Willie neighbor, somebody dying off. Henry Lake, Bill Abbey, the late Joseph Solo. My people, this is what your people do to you. People sat for the test and passed the test. They never took them. Now, if you saw people on that list that were not related to Nessie Doe relatives who were in power had their girlfriends then on the list, and they put them on that list to come to America on scholarship. And the reason why we're seeing this is no government official, no politician will tell you, say, I sent Ashford Garley to America. I came to America on a visiting visa, 3 weeks visa. And in fact, 1 week for my visa to expire, I was still in Liberia because I didn't have money to buy my plane ticket to come to America. A total stranger bought my plane ticket for me to come to America. And even when I came to America and regularized my status, I had to pay that ticket back. But some of you got educated by Liberia and turn your back on Liberia. Is not a complete hope or joke for you people. You don't care about Liberia. But when George Weah said, I am coming for a change, I am coming to change the narrative, you get to power and you implore so cruel people or people from the southeast to be in high position. George Weah never built a zing round in Southtown. Today, he's talking about going on a tour or retreat to showcase 213 homes that he built in Southtown. How did he get the money? It's the taxpayer money. Money from you. Money that you work hard for. So Liberia has always been this hope of joy. Only God can send us somebody that will truly love this country. And this is why I am calling on the opposition to please work together. Do everything you can in your power to work together. Because if we continue this path, George Weah will be there again. And at the end of the day, my people will be running around in diapers in America. Yeah, why George Weah will be president for life. Having said that, folks, landsman number 1 is the Senate. Landsman number 2 is the House of Representatives. The chief referee is the Supreme Court of Liberia. And the match commissioner is the U.S. Embassy. Folks, let's play football.
Yellow boys. Yellow boys. Yellow boys. Yellow boys. Yellow boys.
The ball is now in the middle of the field, folks. I'm telling you.
Yellow boys.
The ball comes to pay as you go. Pay as you go looks around. When you hear the people say pay as you go, because Liberia has lost her overdrive protection privileges. Everything you want now as a Liberian, you have to pay cash. You can't go to the World Bank and get the credit. You can't go to the donors fund because you once had that opportunity and you abused it. You entered the Social Security account. People who retired today can't even get paid. You went to the reserve and stole $25 million and said you come and mop up excess liquidity. Today, it was a complete scam. Back to the field of play. The ball comes to D-Ho cover hole. D-Ho cover hole looks around to Weabola. Weabola looks around to no gas, no water, no life. The ball comes to desperation. Desperation beats went to hypocrisy. Hypocrisy to me, myself, and I onto sequence. The ball comes to misplaced retaliation, then to murder. Murder to statutory rapist. Statutory rapist to retaliation. The ball comes back to insurrection. Insurrection to presidential brown envelope. Presidential brown envelope to provocation. The ball comes to wish on. Wish on to monkey web baboon draw. Monkey web baboon draw to boyo. Boyo to play my way. The ball comes to country look alike. The boy comes to border wide open. $5 to cross the border, $10 to cross the border. Folks, I'm telling you, George Weah cannot pay the border patrol officers. So as a result, the people are just allowing anybody to come in the country, bring all the drugs in the country, bring the cocaine, bring the heroin, bring the opium, bring anything you can bring in the country, because George Weah ain't want to pay all. We got to pay ourselves because we got family to feed. That's what they're saying now. The return of the fugitive. The return of the fugitive to J. Approach to Death Squad. Death Squad looks around to incompetent 14. George Weah built urgent care. He said a hospital. When we are talking about bringing JFK back to where JFK used to be long before the war. Doctors from Kenya used to come to JFK for residency. But today, because we, the country people, are so greedy, because of self-hate, we want everything to be in our name. George Weah refused to upgrade JFK. Go in the lobby, the emergency room, and you will smell people who are living as if they are dead in this day and age. But because of greed, because of self-glory, this man is saying he wants to build 14 medical military hospital, when in reality it is just urgent care. You say the clinic is 95% complete. People are crying. $400 Liberian to move from Freeport to Dry Rest Market when you get on taxi. $3,500 for a gallon of gasoline in Banca. That is if you can find it. What does the president do? He goes to take a look at the clinic, urgent care in Shuffland. He blocks the traffic. That's serious being there. And we'll see this thing, you see, you'll hate the president. Who hates George? Nobody hates George Weah. George Weah hates himself. Listen, George Weah came to this office stealing. Look, George Weah will go down in history as the worst thing that ever happened to this country. The man is a mature criminal. George Weah is a thief. George Weah is a gangster. You listen to Mulba Molo when he said, we used to do this thing for George Weah before, but because he can't find us to do this thing anymore, so he going through McGill, and McGill is bringing people like Ofori Deer, Siafa Norman, DKB, Augustine Nangwe. He's bringing these people to go after their own people in this day and age in Liberia. Our country needs help. Nobody hates George Weah, but George Weah is his own enemy. And for our country to progress and move forward, we have to change the narrative. And the only way we can do this, for you who are in the opposition, to start to think better.
I play Mosaka, please play Mosaka to be a triple champion. I play Mosaka, please play Mosaka to be a.
Back to the field of play. The ball comes to Death Squad. Death Squad looks around to shake from the waist below. George Weah is very sound from the waist below, but he's empty from the chest above. When you put George Weah from the waist below, he will perform at a position where you will say, damn, this boy is a genius. But give George Weah the opportunity to perform from the chest above. That's a complete disaster. I'm telling you, this is the kind of thing we have as president of Liberia. Then the ball comes to sex for job. You hear Moluba Molu saying that George Weah will only give you job if you can shake from the waist below. Today, Dinah Nemo, aka Ash Cream, George Weah's play toy. She's there as Deputy Managing Director for Administration at the National Port Authority. You also have Goretta Foster Child. You remember when Bill Twawe said last year, NPA made $5 million in profit, and this year, 2020, they're on on the path to make another $7 million. Where is the money? Bill Twaway and George Weah stole the money. That's why we're suffering today. We can't get gasoline. All around the world, they got gas going on. They got gasoline. You got cheap gas everywhere. In Liberia, we can't find gas because George Weah stole the money through Bill Twaway. I'm telling you, my people, this is the kind of thing we have to deal with. This is the kind of man we have as president of Liberia. And I don't know if Habiba Clinton is around. Habiba, you're following. You heard about the situation with this young man that was beaten after George Weah made that statement that no human being or no one will walk free in Liberia when you insult George Weah. And his supporters are beating people today. They are torturing people because you disagree with George Weah. And folks, please join us in support of the War Crime Court and the Economic Crime Court. We need to have some type of justice. Have a closure. Not only me. Today, my kids don't have the luxury of grandparents. Today, when they say Decoration Day or Memorial Day, we don't have, my parents don't have grave. Where do I go to say, let me put a wreath down on your grave? I don't have that luxury. Because of the same criminals we have in Liberia today, they are all in big positions. And we are so gullible as Liberians. Until we change our mindset, until we change the way we do things, our country will continue to go through this. You get a message, I voted for him. My kid said, will not vote for him no more. But you shouldn't have voted for him in the first place. You know that this man never meant well for this country. You know that. Habiba Clinton, hello.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening to you, following you up.
Okay, I want you to come in and tell us a little bit, bring us up to speed about the young man that was apprehended today. According to the folks that collected him, they say he was calling the president out of his name. We are going to soon go to halftime now. You want to play that tape? You're going to hear it. What do you know so far, Mr. Habiba Clinton?
Yeah, we were just deliberating on that. The statement made was like somebody was taking his angle about certain unfolding happenings in the surrounding. The country is not going nowhere. I think it's not too fine. So you get people becoming very angry, and they are too being angry. Sometimes they speak out of angerness. So this time around, he was, giving some, strong, feelings about his opinion. But I don't think that was something like it should have been. Somebody should come to show themselves or his or herself that he's so loyal to somebody. And they have to show it up, arresting somebody to denigrate them in the street. Why you should speak wrongly to the president, give profanity, and that was not correct. You find these things happening around the world, even in Africa, a continent. That's making mockery of the democracy. And as I said, we're going to be listening to 2 minute expressions based on this particular action taken by so-called loyalists of the coalition of democratic change government.
Okay, thank you. I will bring a lecture in shortly, but let me first play this audio, and I will see if I can put my phone on there so people can see the images with the images that we saw today on the social
So talking the government now.
Yeah, He deserves it. He deserves it. And that's right. And they are doing all of this because George Weah on June the 6th of last year said, you will not go free. And let me find the direct quote from George Weah on June the 6th. This is George Weah in quote, those that are constantly insulting the president, I want to be clear. After this, there will be no citizens in this country. I can defy you that will ever insult the president and think they will walk on the streets freely. The direct words of George Weah on June the 6th. How can you attract investors to come to your country when you, the president, is going after the peaceful citizens of the country in this day and age? And when I said to you the last time that George Weah, Charles Taylor, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, plus Idi Amin, they can't be my George Weah. And this is how this man plans to lead our country. That is only if he manages to win in 2023. You are dumb. You just heard Mona Penham, Youngblood, said that they are going to do a referendum where they will ask George Weah to go for the third term. So if you're thinking that George Weah is living in 2023, the opposition need to work harder, put their art together, and make this man a one-term president. Because if we're done, you are all done. Let's hear from Mrs. Brooks Roberts. Are you there now?
Yes, I am. Good evening, Mr. Garley. Welcome, Rich Radio audience. We want to say good evening to you. Thank you for joining. There's so much to be thankful for this evening. But as I go down the information avenue, I would like to inform you what's on the field. Tonight at Gate 1, we have some pepper kala. At Gate 3, we have crab and lobster barbecue brought by Bless Sumper, and also with some cold beer. At Gate 5, we have goat pepper soup. We have goat head for men only. And we have Mommy put the pepper. Mommy put the pepper in my Liberian voice. And also at Gate 8, we have dried grasshopper, my people. So we have some enticing food. If you haven't tried it, try something new tonight. At Gate 11, we have pepper crab. And we also have gasoline. For those of you who are stranded, I know some of our members are late because of the shortage of gas. But that's a security issue. Gas has people breaking down in the dark. Some people are getting up in the middle of the night to go fetch for gas, parking at gas stations to make sure they have gas for the next day to travel to school, to work and take their kids to school. So that's a national security issue. But I'd like to say thank you to all of our patrons that are here tonight and those of you that have donated to the Bridge Radio family. We appreciate your donations. Mr. Garley, I want to say thank you for your courage and your bravery, and to stand up to the truth. The truth is always the truth. It cannot change. Our society is, going down, and we have to speak about it. If we don't say anything, history will hold us responsible. So I thank you for your time.
I didn't hear you mention the chief patron for the month.
Oh, yes. Thank you for the reminder. The patron of the month of February is Mr. Emmanuel Decola.
That's right.
In fact,
Mr. Emmanuel Decola. Mr.
Emmanuel Decola. That's right. I think he likes to hear that. But one of the reasons I was late coming in, I went to pick up his contribution to Mrs. The late ambassador's daughter. So I need to have that ready for tomorrow so that I could transfer it. Again, we want to say thank you to all those who contributed. May God replenish it.
And for this week so far in VIP, I see the Abe Brahima Benda. Want to say the big thanks to him. We also want to say the big thanks to Nea Sandolo, and a big thanks to Catherine Jones. Thank you so much. Then we have Pamela King Bayoga. We also want to say a big thanks to you as well. Then we'll also have Miss Pauline Maximo of New Jersey. She just visited the Cash App as well. Remember, now we can't do this by ourselves. Okay, we have this platform, and for Josh Weir to be brought to his needs, we need your help. Okay, Josh Lobo can bear me witness. When you take time out to come here and stay for 3-4 hours, it requires a lot of research. Then we have a crew in Liberia that want to be introducing Bridge Television. All those people need some type of pocket change, but we can't do this without you. And that's why we're not reaching out to politicians or the government of Liberia. We're reaching out to you because it is because of you we are on here tonight. So any dead water can put a fire, whether it's $10, it's $15, it's $20. Just visit the Cash App and drop it in there. We appreciate you. And I want you to touch on something, Mrs. Roberts. There are people who selling kids. You can't be selling kids meat, dog meat, and selling rat at the same time from gate 9. You have to pay for your booth. You have to pay for your booth. We come here in America, we abide by the rules, then we go to Liberia, then we go to SKD Sports Complex they say, give me one booth, and you start selling 3 different things at the booth. When you pay for the booth to sell dog meat, sell only dog meat. You can't be selling dog meat and King Jude at the same time. I want you to please speak to that, Mrs. Roberts.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Garley, for that, for pointing out that oversight. We just want to remind all of our vendors that yes, you are welcome to take over multiple booths. However, you have to pay the booth fee. So, as you have seen at the bottom of this show, that you have the Cash App where you can pay for your booth.
Just tap in that number 248-979-1718. Just drop something in the Cash App, and then you can make you get now. You're selling King Jude, you're selling dog meat, then you're selling cow folk, you're selling case meat. Come on now, you Chinese man now.
Thank you, Mr. Garley. Yeah. No, sometimes it's an oversight because we are not policing effectively. So we'll take responsibility for that. But now that we have made the announcement, hopefully our vendors will see the booth clerk before they take over a booth. Thank you.
Thank you.
And before you go back, is it okay if I read a few comments?
Go ahead, read. That's what I wanted you to do. Please read a few comments. Go ahead, absolutely.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, as you read a few comments, let me go find me some tea. Go ahead, sis.
Some ginger tea, I may add.
Say Eloise. Eloise refused to bring me some tea today. Let me go for my own tea. So go ahead, sis.
Actually, I don't see Lady Eloise on the in VIP tonight. So she must be delayed. Something is delaying her, but I'm sure she'll be here. I would like to say, I would like to read coming from Matt Firecoat Tyler or Torley. I hear Big Brother. We have Michelle Obono Girl Batwa replying to Michelle. Okay, sister, see you soon. We have Nancy Bala, my little long-time Georgia sister, acknowledging Miss Yacindy Martin. We have one Kima Sandolo. Well said, my dear brother Ashford Garley, the giant. Peter Newville. Oh yes. We have Evangeline Mamita. Some of them can't even talk to her again. I think she's referring to Nancy Doe scholarship.
The people that Nancy Doe brought on scholarship to America, 26 of them, she's saying can't even talk to her again. You know?
That's right. We have Peter Newville. Amen. We have V.A. Kona. Brother, if you have not, I'm not going to read that. We have Matilda Williams. So true. We have Moses Madison. Well said, Ashford. Obed shared the show. We have Florence Colley. We can only employ crew people. Zoli Zo is a crewman. Matilda Williams. Opposition. Let us please work together. Okay? And we have Bradford Brown. I am here. Mr. Brown, please make your way to VIP. Drop something and you know where to go. Mr. Decola is not in the VIP tonight. I'm sure he's somewhere in Monrovia, gallivanting. We want to say welcome to Mr. Lionel Punis. And we also have from Information Highway, Lydia Zondo. Liberians will learn the hard way under George Weah's government. We say welcome to Ernest Garnett Smith Jr. We also have Yasa Buwe Fins. We're inside, and I will rest for now while you take over to go to the show. Thank you, Mr. Garley, for the opportunity.
Thank you. And we'll also see Mr. James Davis watching from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the USA. He said, thanks for the educational political football platform. And we appreciate you, the real giant. And that's what he just said. Folks, back to the field of play. The ball comes to false promises. False promises looks around to tribalism. Tribalism looks around to nepotism. Nepotism to hard work. Hard time to unemployment, onto insecurity. AKA border wide open. 5 data to cross the border, 10 data to cross the border. George, we can't pay the border patrol officers. So as a result, people are coming in the country with drugs. Breaking the cocaine, breaking the heroin, breaking the opium. Because when you break in these things and give up $5-10, then we can free our family members. Because Joshua is not doing anything to pay our people. Do you know how many people are saying they went to Liberia to take on that position just to suffer? Because Joshua is not helping them. George Weah, Nathaniel McGill, Samuel Toe, Gorilla Foster Child, Bill Twabby, those are the only people that pay the money now. Then this man, who they call Aloysius Talu. You know, Aloysius Talu is the newest central bank governor. He's dead now. This man, you heard the man saying, I am coming to get underground people jobs. And he did not disappoint you people. He meant exactly what he was saying. Today, his first cousin, his father, and this boy's mother, Gus Taylor, are two siblings. And today, Gus is in Liberia working at the central bank. He wanted to hire the niece of Gus, Adole, to work in the central bank as well. He asking people everywhere, do you know any grand person that want job here at central bank? Or what happened to the 14 other counties? The only crown people are supposed to work in the central bank now. But I am not surprised because he went publicly and said, I am not a Dennis. I am not a Cooper. I am a Talu. And I will hire only crown people. This is the kind of nonsense That can always happen. Nothing against the indigenous people. But every time an indigenous person get in power, we are headed for trouble. Look at Samuel Doe. When Samuel Doe was president in that country, Slanka, William Gladden, they used to take big black cars and go on Coachton University campus, go to Konola, and the only people they want to sleep with are Congo girls they want to sleep with. They will take the Congo girls against their will and go and sleep with them because they had guns. They were in power. You have another countryman in power, and the only thing he thinks about is thinking from the waist below. He does not think about how he can bring gas in the market. They're bringing low grade rice on the market from India. People are getting diabetes in the country. He doesn't give a damn. Because at the end of the day, when George Weah gets ill, guess what? They will take him out of the country. And our friend and brother made a mistake few nights ago and said George Weah had a liver problem to take him to Ghana. I wish it was the case. And then some of you are cowards and sycophants. Not praying for the man. Deep down your heart, you know you're not praying for George Weah to be well. Me, I want George Weah to be well. I want God to call him because he's not doing right for the people of Liberia and Liberians. I can't have my own. My hair ain't fading nobody more. This man has destroyed the country in just under 3 years. Who comes to power stealing? You had this money, so much you wanted to build your home. You didn't build your home, George Weah, when you made money as a soccer player. You didn't build a house in Southtown when you made money as a soccer player. You didn't change the roofs in Gibraltar, Claratown, when you made money as a soccer player. You didn't put $1.5 million in the budget for your wife, Claire Weah. When you made money, George Weah, the pictures are coming. If you will be shocked as to what the older brother of Claire Weah is doing in the southeast between Grand Juliet and Maryland, using equipment belonging to the AFL, digging gold. Then we'll bring headquarters and take the gold and carry it to Jamaica. When they talk to George Weah, oh yeah, leave the people, let them do what they have to do. You think George Weah loves Liberia? You think George Weah loves you? George Weah is all about himself. You heard from Bolba Molu. George Weah is never in love with you. He wants something from you. George Weah will give the opposite sex a job in exchange for sex. That's what he does. George Weah will send Bolba Molu in the past to go talk on his behalf, to talk bad things, evil things. But Bolba Molu said, I can't do it anymore because since we can't do it anymore, so he's using my guild and other people to do these things. That's how evil this man is. And we have got to be very careful with this man as president of Liberia. Again, I don't know who's advising George Weah. They're telling him he's going to be president for a long time. They told Samuel Doe the same thing. Charles Taylor felt the same way. Today, Charles Taylor is behind bars. 7 life sentence. George Weah, you are instructing your people to go after the innocent Liberian people who disagree with you because you are underperforming. They are beating people now. They are torturing people. And you think Chris Smith, the U.S. congressman, when he mentioned the word torture, you know what he really meant? You know the meaning of torture? Have you sat down to go through the various types of torture? You're joking. He said they think they call Dofa Tabe. That torture there, that's on this model. When you take steak and put nail on it and start drinking to it, that torture. When you take honey and mix it with milk and say eat it at your food for all day, at the end of the day, the person's stomach start running. Now torture. All these things. When people in a civilized world hear about torture, these are the kind of things they think about. George Weah, you have got to be very careful. Back to the field of play. The ball comes to false promises to trapalism to nepotism to D-hole cover hole. D-hole cover hole looks around to Gorilla Foster Child. Gorilla Foster Child looks around. He making no, he doesn't. The ball comes back to Borrowing Initiative. Beast Woman, will he make it? No, he doesn't. The ball comes to misapplication of interested funds. Misapplication of interested funds to ghost employees. Ghost employees to Power Tech to D-hole cover hole. Back to false promises onto wasteful spending. Wasteful spending looks around. Will he make it? No! The ball is way off target. Then the ball comes to corruption to statutory rapist to dictatorship to lies to hooligan looks around to human rights abuse to wasteful spending back to bribery to shake from the waist below, shake your mouth and squeeze your face, shake your mouth and squeeze your face back to shake from the waist below onto witch hunt to which Boyo looks around. Will he make it? No, he doesn't. The ball comes to tribalism again. Tribalism doesn't make it. The ball comes to sex for passing grade to abuse of power to retaliation. Please give me more time to steal. Is moving deeper than half of you. He double show, aka George Weah. Please give him more time to steal. He got the elephant on his back, the deer on his shoulder, and then the smallest squirrel with the photo tanker. He can't let it go for somebody else. George Weah wants everything for himself. Then the ball comes to Market Web Baboon Draw. Looks around. Will he make it? No, he doesn't. Ladies and gentlemen, this could be trouble. The ball has been intercepted there by National Bank.
Please play Mosaka to be a triple champion. I play Mosaka. Please play Mosaka to be a triple champion. I play Mosaka. Please play Mosaka to be a triple champion.
Back to the field of play. The ball comes to Drunker to aka Von Von looks around to unemployment to hard time back to Von to Osatole, aka Liberia. Osatole to Urgent Care, aka 14 Military Hospital. Osatole to Pay As You Go to Desperation to drugs abuse looks around to We Ebola to Stupidation looks around to 2 men cigarette, they're not cigarette. Then the ball comes to hypocrisy to me, myself, and I. Will he make it? No, he doesn't. The ball comes to sycophancy looks around to misplaced retaliation onto murder to statutory rapist to retaliation. The ball comes back to presidential brown envelope looks around. Some of these senators who were saying in the past, just last week, that they will do this, they will do that, they mean well for the country. George Weah calls them. He shakes hands with them. And the next thing you know, the narrative changes. This is not a real country. This is a country friend, folks, I'm telling you. Then the ball comes to Market Web Baboon Draw onto Wish Hunt to Boyo to country look alike. Liberia is not a country because we don't behave as if Liberia is a country. The kind of things we do to our people. How can you communicate with a 12-year-old girl as a partner? You bring a 12-year-old girl who's supposed to be the daughter of your niece, she becomes a sex slave. You have sex with these people, kill them just to protect you. At the end of the day, how do you sleep at night? How do you really sleep at night? Then the ball comes to the return of the fugitive. Ellen Cochran is here on record telling the world that George Weah is a very good person, that George Weah means well for the country. George Weah believes in justice. Simply because she and George Weah have something in common. They both can think from the waist below. Even though she's a little smarter than George Weah, but when it comes to thinking from the waist below, they both can deal with that. In this day and age, folks, I'm telling you. Then the ball comes to death squad. Ofori there, Siafa Norman, Augustine Nangwe, DKB, George Weah has hired these people to go after people, to witch hunt people and kill them. George Weah claims to be peace ambassador long before he became president of Liberia. Today he's the president. And when he said, stop calling me names, and even when you don't stop calling President Weah's name, the next thing you know, people will start beating you. What did we do to deserve this, folks? Now, The fact that George Weah said no human being in Liberia will walk on the streets in Liberia if you ever call him name. You have the number already on there. 248-979-1718. Call in, whether you are Mommy Tar, you Rebecca Corey, you'll call in. This president doesn't really mean well for our country, whether you're Moses, Mr. Steve Bowling. We need to hear from you people. I'm telling you, 248-979-1718. The game is so tough today. No score to either side. No score to Liberia and no score to societal ills. And as we wait for these people to call in on 248-979-1718, I will go back around the field. Maybe some people have decided to tell us what they have to sell. And folks, just so you know, today's game has been brought to you by Emmanuel Dokola. Emmanuel Dokola is in fact the chief sponsor for this month. He's the chief patron for this month. I want to say a big thanks to Emmanuel Dokola for what he has done and continue to do for not only British Radio, but for the people of Liberia. And I also want to take this time to say a big thanks to our many viewers, supporters, those of you who take time out on a weekly basis to say, you know what, Ashford, you're not in this by yourself. And especially this week, we have Abby Brima Binda, and we also have Nayan Sandolo and Captain Jones. We also have Pamela King Bayoga. I want to say a big thanks to all of you for what you do on a weekly basis to help us out on this platform. There are some names here that say, you don't call our name, but we'll see what we can do, you know, to help out. And let us not put it around the field. The number there to call in 248-979-1718, and Letty Brooks Rabbits give us some information as you visit around the field.
Yes, Mr. Garley, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, I have Salimatu Konen who's saying, like I paid for my spot, but I see someone selling there because I did not sell today. You please pay for your own spots, okay?
But Letty, why would you and Habiba allow somebody else to go and sell to Salam? I don't want trouble here. The period, you know, the period they could have sued people. Why would you allow somebody else to go sell to Salamatu place now? That trouble you're looking for, so?
Actually, I just went around Information Avenue and I got that person information, and I already told her they will be paying their fine.
Okay.
We also want to welcome Mr. Steve Bowley. He's here tonight. Okay. We have Mr. James Davis watching from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, USA. And thanks for this educational political football platform. And we appreciate you, the real giant.
Okay.
Estelle Logan. I have some hot fufu at gate 5. Estelle, maybe that's what Salimatu is talking about. Did you pay for that booth?
You know, I think next time we're gonna make Evangeline Mamita protocol officer so she can make sure that everybody is paying for the booth before they can enter. And I think Evangeline Mamita will be the perfect person to enforce that rule. But do you see Howard Meshgard and Celia Achevon anywhere around gate 9 or gate 4? Where are they?
No, actually, I haven't seen any of them, but I know that we tried to reach out to Celia and Howard to see where they are. Like I told you, due to the shortage of gas, a lot of people are stranded, you know, by the total gas station area there due to the lines. So, they may be stranded due to the gas shortage and, the lines and people, fighting. In fact, one lady just reported that the Zogos are under the pole there fighting and doing all kinds of stuff.
But I want to commend Catherine N. Jones. At least, she came forward to say she got issue barbecue. Some people selling cat and dog. Some people are allergic to cats and dogs, but at least Catherine got her sample up. She's selling issue barbecue, so good and well that if you can't eat issue, don't even venture around that terrain. So Catherine N. Jones now got issue barbecue and which gets you on set. Catherine, look good. Catherine is on gate number 10 with issue barbecue. Enough pepper, I get 10. At least she not tell the people. But some people will just come and say they get GB. They will not tell you what kind of meat in that GB because I am a victim. 1996, when that war was going on, I can swear I ate some issue. Because we're just eating GB and there was we can't find meat. But if people have meat in the food, I can swear I ate some issue. And the issue I ate at that time, it was sweet. So I'm telling you that issue not a bad thing. Go ahead.
All right, Mr. Garley, that's very good to know. You can advertise sometimes too. But we also have Mr. Prince Williams Collins. He's watching. He has been scarce lately. We want to know where Mr. Prince has been. We want to welcome Ms. Mariah Seaton, Dr. Mariah Seaton, watching from her home. And then James Davis says, when Charles Taylor said we was using strategies to become president, Liberian denied it and said he was trying to hunt Weah, and it was not a mistake by electing him. Now he has proven that the presidency is above his power.
That's right.
And we want to also welcome Mr. Amos George. We also like to welcome Mr. Alston Carpet, straight out of the Garden State. You're welcome. We have Vita Dono. She says she has hot ribs at gate 9. Patronize your own self, sister. Need to pay my table fee and tax. Can't wait to sit in VIP.
That's right. And also we'd like to say a big thanks to Madam Sarah Putuwe. She just visited the Cash App. I just like how the Cash App in the sign. The microphone is open, and then when something drops in the Cash App, just hear that sign. It makes me feel good. It makes me want to be more creative and just come on every night and just give the Liberian people what they want to hear. In the meantime, Terry Choir, she has juicy roasted cassava fish with salad. $5 a plate. I gave them a 5. Terry Choir, and Terry Choir is supposed to be there because she already paid her deal. So I want to say a big thanks to Terry Choir. She's at gate number 5 with juicy roasted cassava fish with salad right there on gate 5. Mr. Prince B. Williams Collins, my man. I know you don't got no gas, but you can't miss the game. Prince, the number is there, man. I want you to call in. Well, we haven't talked in a long time. And speaking of calling in, I think somebody is calling the line, Miss Robert. Let's go to the phone line. Hello, caller. Tell us your name and where you call from.
Brother Ashford, this is just Cindy. How are you?
Hey, yeah, Cindy, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
I'm good. I'm in disguise. You didn't remember this other phone number. That's the second touch number. That's why I trick you.
Thank God I got this number. My sister said, as always, we're glad to have you on, and I want to commend you and the rest of the folks who are advocating for the war crime court and the economic crime court, because our people need some type of justice. And but just before then, what do you make of the political soccer game tonight between the Lone Star and Societal Hills, where both teams are playing hard? No score to either side, but this player they call torture. This player they call witch hunt. They are going after people, and you and I know that on the 6th of June of last year, This president, George Weah, went to delegate this market on Dupo Road, and he said no one will walk the streets in Liberia when you insult the president. He can defy them, and he can guarantee them. And today, we are seeing images on the social media of people going after innocent civilians because they express themselves in support of George Weah. How do you respond?
So first of all, let me just acknowledge your work. Excellent, excellent. Different twist to the conversation, different kind of narrative, bring to bear where attract us the most, which is soccer game around the world. I mean, it's getting popular in America. But sometimes they say if the child is hard to learn, use the language in which to understand to kind of attract them. This entices all of us because this is what we're used to. So I want to say, first of all, congratulations. Stellarly, you're growing up. This is what we know. This is what we grew up on, the soccer game. We can relate to those different bases and those different positions. But like you, I think it's an issue in Africa during the war. And you know how they say Zoclo and all of these things, I've never seen it before because I grew up in Monrovia, right? So I go home, and my son is with me. My son was a baby then. And my brother took me out the way in Arizona, and he buying all this roasted meat, right? Apparently this roasted meat, they're seasoned with caterpillar that they call Zoclo. I don't know that. And this is something I would say, yuck. And I'm eating this thing. It's really, really sweet. So we get home, and he burst out laughing. He said, you're civilized, but you just keep for eating caterpillar, right? But I'm sorry, it was good. So I'm returning to first base. I think the Advocates have a touchdown today. The Advocates predicted.
That's American football. Don't be
No, I'm talking about soccer. I'm talking about soccer.
Soccer scored and I touchdown.
Oh, sorry, go. Yeah, let's go. Sorry, let's go today. Remember when we told the Liberian people last year not to take this for granted? We told them that, and I'm trying to reduce my pitch and my soy, so everybody can understand me because I will carry on right there. When we told them last year, wherever the president alters, it's a command to those who worship him. Whether he comes back and retrieve it or retract it, it's going to be implemented. That is also a zero to the Liberian Senate because we told them by confirming Serena Cephas, it encourages and fortifies what the president has said or have mandated. It's actually was a mandate because you have to understand when you are the president, whatever you speak is an order. You come from a position of power. You are like the parent in the house. So to say the president was joking, there's no joking snake mouth. Haven't you heard? There absolutely no joking snake mouth. So today, last week or 3 weeks ago, we started with a gas shortage. They said it was lie. Yesterday, we saw the Chief Justice, Crook, and his family. So let me say, me, I don't go back. Crook, Francis Football, trying to cut in. But you see, let me say this to you, brother, if people are listening. And I said this the other day on my post on Liberian men got really mad when I talk about Jefferson Koji being Minnesota. He didn't say have no balls. Jefferson Koji say have no balls, where he meet people on a clear playing field, where he does not have power and everyone is equal. To show his juice, he hides. So he has no balls. Like I told them the other day, I say, most Liberian men have no balls. There is no way in hell. Let me tell you something. I will tell my story and I said it over and over. 1990, when the people rushed into Greystone because we're already at the MSA, and the U.S. and the Liberian government sent to the U.S. embassy to open Greystone compound. That was the first time the people came in. Opened the Greystone compound, and they said that they had some runaway soldiers to come in. They had just killed the people in Lutheran compound. And they went back and forth. I told this story over and over on my stuff, but so I'm going to tell it short. So when the people decided that they would allow the soldier to come into the compound, at the point the soldiers are already surrounded the compound from the Masene Temple area, And I went outside. My mother was asleep. Usually when I'm on, my mom is on. She comes to listen to what I'm saying. So if my story changes in me, I'm telling you a lie. Because my story has not changed since I've told it. I told this story since I was in my 20s. I told it in my 30s. I told it in my 40s. And I'm telling it now in my 50s. Now, like Ashford said, at 57, I'm still telling it. Laugh now. I'm making you laugh. So I'm still telling it. So I go out, sneak behind the house and go out. They had a lot of reasons to be in that compound. It was covered all in which you could not see the buildings. So I came out. There were a lot of people who escaped from Prince Johnson side and West Point, and they were in that building. And I came out, and I told the guys, "What are you gonna do? You're gonna sit here and run, and these people are gonna come and kill your daughters and your wives, and they're gonna chase you down one by one, the animals, and kill you. Your best bet is go back and fight. At least die fighting, you die with dignity." And the boys agree with me, even the women agree with me. And we started cutting, we cut down those reeds. My mom came outside and said, "Y'all, what the heck are you doing?" And I said, "Mom, I'm gonna die regardless, but I'm gonna die fighting." Remember now, today I weighed about 120 pounds. So in 1990, I weighed maybe under 80 pounds, all right? Most Liberian men don't have balls. The point I'm making is, if I were at that gas station and that stupid, corrupt man show up, I was going to start the fire. They were going to drag me, though. I'm not saying they're going to drag me, but I was going to make the news. That one of the reasons, Ashford, they can't see me in Liberia, because I will fight. And I've done this before. And that's what we have to do. Nowhere in the world, in Lebanon yesterday, in Israel yesterday, in America yesterday, that man would have ran out of there. They were sitting there and complaining on Facebook. Okay, they would have they nowhere in the world that those young men would have stood out there and allowed that man to come walk and go get gas after they have been there days. They wouldn't even be brave. But Ellie Justice Ellie told Josh we are. The only reason I like breast standing up is that big people like you, people like me, people like Letty, like Howard, the Emmerich, the Duke, the Mika, the Peter, okay? Because these people, Martin Corley, the Gossi Gamia, and the what do you call it, Emmanuel Kwankwe. Because some of these children are still standing up. If not, they will just take it. They will just take it.
But yeah, let me ask you this. Why are most of us like this? And you just said it right, you know. And I went to jail before on a brutal dictator, Charles Taylor, you know, and I went to jail for a week, and it appeared at the time as if I was in jail for the month. You know, the thing is, I'm afraid of no man, because the same way Joshua puts on his pen one leg at a time, we all men do. What we have men in that country, and they can't stand up to this thing. Why would they have to depend on somebody else when you know that you are feeling the pain and you can't do something about it? Look, I would have instructed people to say, you know what, this man, after we stay here for days, we haven't gotten gas, he's not going to be getting, he will not get gas. As a matter of fact, we were going to relocate his vehicle. That's what I would have done.
And you know why? And you know why, brother Ashford? It would have taken one person to stand up. That day, this lady told me, and they just confirmed, that particular day, they took me, a little girl, under 90 pounds, little bright girl, standing up there with red picket hair to tell them you're going to die regardless. You got to fight dying. That's what it took. One person, that's what they needed to have taken. We have projected all of these things. We have projected that from last year till now. But let me send this message to my brother, Jay Rennie Dapo. I heard yesterday he made an appeal to me to tell Darius Dillon to get them and go to school. Right? We are saying he has a master's degree now. He's a doctor. Education is not about a title. It's about productivity, okay? There are people who have exceptional knowledge or talent, okay? You have Queen Elizabeth, who took over the kingdom when she was only 15 years old, all right? She learned her way. If you call Darius Dillon a high school dropout and he will perform at this level, then he has superior talent. And you call your president, George Weah, a master's degree holder, but he does not understand economic environment or economics for that matter, or just simple business management at the AA level. He can't speak English or read at 4th grade level. Then there's a disconnect somewhere in his education from divide and the 3rd grader education. I would say this much to the Liberian people. You know, majority of my family did not go to school, but guess what? Majority of my grandfather was the first justice of the peace in Nima County. My great uncle was the first when Nima County became a county to be the senior senator in Nima County. This is the guy who challenged the president of the time and said, you will not vote to Nima County. You come, you will not go back. And he did not vote. So when people talking about politics, when they, oh, you just new into politics, some of us decided to stay away. I have family who were very close to doing on the term, okay, from as a technocrat or Chinese trained college educator in Liberia for water and sewer, and I'm not going to say who that is, okay. So I think the government is down for a penalty. The penalty goes to the opposition. And another thing is, Liberian people have to decide where they want, because it seems like the Liberian people have the penalty to score, but they're confused. They're just picking all kind of people. Eh?
No, yeah. Let me ask you this. I know when you hear y'all sitting on your yeah, okay, and that's the yeah you say, you know. But yeah, I want to ask you on a very serious note. What can the opposition do? Because you are in the opposition is in a very perfect position to unseat this president come 2023, but you people have got to work together. When you are working behind the scene, you sit behind the scene, wash your dirty clothes behind the scene. After you have done that, then you can come out and tell the Liberian people. How sure are the rest of the Liberian people that the opposition is really going to hold?
So let me say this to you. You know, leadership is about character, all right? Leadership is also about your history. So our leader, and I will speak today, you said you were going to invite me, we can have this conversation. All right, our leader has a history of accomplishing some of the most difficult tasks in the world. Our leader took the Coca-Cola Africa from all the expert, expert trade leadership to an African leadership, almost 80%, where Africans could lead their own nations around the world where they were at. He came and he started different organizations. His history is out there where he took Coca-Cola from where he left it before he resigned. He also, because he was with Coca-Cola previously, left Coca-Cola and went to Pillsbury. Coca-Cola went after him. He came back to build the company and build Coca-Cola Africa, Coca-Cola India, for that matter, or Coca-Cola Asia. So he has a record, okay? He has a record of being consistent. He has a record of being forthcoming. He has a record of being one man's and one woman man. He has 2 children, 3 beautiful grandchildren, been married to his wife for almost 40 years with no affairs, especially us living in America. For you to be, actually, you know that in America, to head a Fortune 500, 100 organization, you have to have great character. The moment they hear about you, you're fired. Especially when you power company, even at your power company, they will find somewhere else to put you. So your name is a brand. So you know that. One thing Liberians have to understand, because we're not used to this, you know, they call it gossip and good news. Those of us who are working corporate at a higher level, decision making, you don't go to a meeting and walk out of the meeting to tell if there's a challenge in there. Those of us who have developed, even at a business level or just in the laboratory, okay, you need time. Those who have done merger with different organizations, they send some of the word, who today is one of the leading industry in the world. They did not start by yelling out there. They started by negotiating. They come with their own trade, they come with their money, and then whatever organization they want to take over and they want to negotiate with, it takes time. Okay? Because I'm new on the block does not mean you're going to shove stuff down my throat, especially when I know what I want. And those are the things that Liberians need to understand. When you have a teller, which we call in America that your son will tell you, Daddy, I don't want to snitch. Then my friends are not going to like you. When you are snitch, nobody want to deal with you. Especially, I'm not talking about the Wahala people who jumping from Facebook to Facebook and all the people, but larger core people who understand business segment and the act of negotiation, the merger, they will not want to deal with you because your mouth is so loud. You are looking for attention, and people don't want to deal with you. So we are in the process, and I believe the opposition, those in leadership, and you listen to Director Lon today, he made a great point. He said, you don't go to the table and run out to people and start talking. Okay? As leader, your job is always to raise hope. Okay? Wherever is brewing, fix it. Your job is to stay in the back and fix it. Not run. And I'm going to say that a lot of people are going to get pissed off. Y'all get pissed off. Y'all can suck it up. Y'all can cuss me. I don't care. I'm used to cussing. A CDC didn't cuss me. A Liberian people in the Liberian community didn't show up to my meeting. Pastor then came in my face, cuss me and say I will not speak. And, you know, until they speak.
Yeah, let me play a devil advocate here.
Yes.
You just sold your leader in a very positive way, where left in Liberia, this Liberian native came to America and other parts of the world and made it really big, you know.
Yes.
And today he can boast of what he has done and continue to do. That's in America and in other parts of the world. It's a different terrain. On your t-shirt. The moment you smell the same, they take on that t-shirt. Hello? And wear somebody else's
yes,
t-shirt.
a bad connection, Habiba.
You know, and wear somebody else's t-shirt, and then when they see you, they will look you both in the face and say, "Papi, no money to you. I only wear the t-shirt because my t-shirt dirty. But you know, I supporting you." The people are saying that they have nothing in terms of negativity with the leader. But in leadership, like he said, like you just said about your leader, you have to start from the ground up. He came and worked his way up from manager to director to managing director until he went to as high as president or vice president of a major establishment in the world. Liberia is a
with billions and billions of dollar budget.
Okay.
Yes.
For example, let me just give this analogy. Now, if we say we have the CPP to go today, where we have Alexander Cummings and Joseph Human Boycott, they are the two top people within the CPP. Okay, and we also have names like Bernard Nigeria, who is very influential. We have Yombly Kanga, and again, I think that about it, right? Yeah. So Joseph Boyka and Alexander Cummings, the people in Liberia. I'm just saying this now because I am not part of any party, and I'm just saying thinking from the layman perspective and say, oh, but the old man went against George Weah the other time. He got about 500,000 votes. Ellis Cummings got about 200,000 votes.
No. Go back.
Okay,
No,
come here. Yeah.
That is in the second round when they were neck to neck.
Okay.
George Weah that in the final. That when the two of them were face off. So George Weah got a little over 700,000 votes, and he got over 500,000 votes. But he got less than 300,000 votes in the first round. Mind you, now you got to see now, Joseph Walker was coming from a position of strength. He was the incumbent. He was the one who had was supposed to have all of the resources. He was the one who was available I went to Nimba. The pictures were everywhere. So was Weah, all right? Then you have Ellis Cummings, who had just come 2 years prior, okay? And Liberians have said, we like the man. We like his resume, but here it is. We want the mosquito to bite him small. We don't want him to come and fool us. We want to see if he will stay. Mind you now, this man have built a multi-million-dollar complex in Liberia. It's lifetime investment. This man have built a school of science and technology, STEM, the first of its kind in Liberia. This man just turned around, instead of building a new building in his name, which he could afford to build, and give the Nima College enough money to build an annex for sciences, so Liberians don't have to leave to go to Ghana or to this, and make sure it will be funded for teachers to be there to train those people. This man is working on bringing advanced teachers like Liberian days in the 80s when you and I went to school from other countries to come and invest in Liberian teacher, where after maybe 2 or 3 years, they can leave for them to take over, to train them to that point. Well, so here's the point. Go ahead.
You have 40,000 people listening to you just on the internet, BridgeRadioAfrica.com. Mm-hmm. You have hundreds of people watching you now on Facebook. I never heard about VPS, Voters Perception Survey, and this is something that has never happened in Liberia, not even in America. But we are hearing now that your candidate or your leader is asking for the VPS, and that's the only way they can determine who becomes the leader of the CPP. Like we are used to the constitutional convention where people will go and decide who to become the leader of the collaboration.
Okay. Let me come here. I'm not going to answer that particular question, but I'm that right now. If anybody want to get the answer to that question, join me on Sunday. The chairman for ANC will be live with me on a special. I will set up the time, turn in, and you will get all of the information. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. The reason we keep doing the same thing over and over and anticipate different results, because we continue to do the same thing, all right? Because it has not been done, it does not mean it can't be done. Here it is, though. In an environment that is progressing, where people are educated, where there's knowledge-based, okay, or where you have low information society, you tweak and look around and see what is the best possible way to get everyone involved. How have we done before? We did a convention. A few men went together in a room and decided who should be the standard bearer. For instance, Justice Ellie was with the Action Party. Ellie left into the United States to find funding to go back. They gave her Pole and all of those people, and Vanny Sherman betrayed her. She went in the bushes and came back to fight back, even though she came back and ran as a senator and she won and never took a seat, but she was pissed about that. That's how she left and went to New York and go back. Even the Judy Bryant, all of them were on there. They didn't want to betray her. She's paying them back. That's how come she went back to Liberia and found her way to UP, okay, and take over. And that's why she got back with Judy Bryant. In fact, she was paying them. The only person she had not been able to conquer is Vanny Sherman. And she's still on that. And maybe she would do it before she goes, so she will go along with her. But here is what I'm going to tell you. You and I are talking. Okay, our information is in real time. People around the world are listening to us. It never did happen in the 1800s. Okay, people who have vision to change the society brought that, and we have to be open to that. We're doing the same thing over and over and anticipate, okay, different results. It's the definition of insanity. It's craziness, okay? And we know Liberia can be bought. The justices can be bought. The FFR will not be clean. You can go back to election after everybody literally have complained about an election. And you think somebody want to come and show up as like a sheep, spend everything, go out there and show up and be cheated, especially when you have some of the political leaders say, oh, who is this man? He don't need to come here. He knew. He disappeared and show up. Then another person show up. We saw that for the case of Kidman. I'm not going to hold my tongue here, okay? In the case of Kidman County, we knew that this boy, Samuel Freeman, would have been one. But people came whenever they gave them, whenever they didn't give them, and sabotage. You don't go to the boardroom and have a meeting when it does not suit you and come out like a dog yelling out it. You don't do that. I'm saying it though. I am saying it coming from out of my mouth. And I'm not calling anybody names. When we go to boardroom, the essence of going to boardroom to dissect the frog and find every artery to make sure we can piece it back together. In that light, maybe I'm speaking big English. The reason people go to meeting, let me say that, let me speak a low man. The essence of going to a meeting, or those who go to poorer society, that they go behind their house in their calling place to discuss, that wherever they discuss, it stays there until they find solution. That's the essence of that. You don't do us a favor, you don't do the nation right when you come out and make them panic, especially when you're not in the meeting. All right? There are 3 options there that were discussed. All right? The 3 options are still on the table and being discussed. And if I'm bringing millions of dollars and bringing experience that I have track record, I have right to contribute. Okay?
Now, yeah, let me ask you
Yes.
this. What has your political leader done in terms of connecting with the people in Liberia? I know you talk about bringing millions of dollars, but you can bring your money. I know the Liberian people. If you are not connected, look at Darius Dillon. Darius Dillon won and fought George Ware in North County without money.
Brother Ashford.
If you can't connect with the people,
Brother Ashford.
So tell us about the connectivity.
Brother Ashford.
To the table?
Brother Ashford, that's the problem with Liberian people. Majority of us forget so quickly. I want someone to ask your bread and knocking for it. Let me tell you this. When Darius Dillon election was coming, comments were the hardest thing on the ground. If you remember, even you called me. What her name? Octavia Gilman. A lot of these advocates were calling me to talk and calling us to talk to Mr. Cummings to go out. In fact, Mr. Cummings had a meeting here. He had to put his meeting shot to go back and campaign with and show Darius Dillon. Yes, he had earned his own place when the people trusted him to go out and campaign for him. Mr. Cummings, in the history of Liberia, all right? In the history of Liberia, you have never seen a candidate who ran in an election were rejected, stay behind, and continue to help people. Mr. Cummings just went on a tour in Liberia. He's still on a tour. He went around the country. The president where you chose have not been to Liberia in the country. He only go to the foreign land to enjoy jolly. This man have been around all of the 16 or 15 counties. He on his way back. This man have built, in fact, during the July 26th, where the president was having party and buying $12,000 shoe. Cummings were giving people money so they can be able to eat. He was going to hospital. The only referral hospital, the largest referral hospital in Bon County was shutting down. He paid the healthcare workers to keep our people alive. He carried medicine to keep the doors open. Okay, he is connecting everybody because Liberians are used to bomb loud people. They're not used to results. Some of us who have worked our lives and going to school, no disrespect to those who may not sit down in the colonial education. Like I tell you all the time, majority of my people from my mother's generation didn't go to school, but they're some of the brightest people in the world. Okay, school could mean, learning. Those who go into poorer society, that's a school where men learn to keep secret, to be their brother's keeper. It's like a fraternity. It's an education within itself. The cultural education that you learn at home, domestication is education. Those are the things that we're talking about. Okay, our leader told you all before, ANC is not leading, but ANC come with expertise, come with results, and he wants to see a system that is more transparent, that is better than what we've used to. Primary, we've been to primary before. Emmanuel Toh, who is the chair for Dillon in the U.S., well, with CDC, went to primary in background Basso County. He won. The generator went off and came back on. The number changed, and they say he didn't win. We know how it is. We watch a Supreme Court justice taken down with lies, okay? So you cannot do the same thing and expect a different result. That is the meaning of insanity. But we can have this conversation on a different day now. I'm going to go get ready for my show. Yes.
I know you're heading for the show, but just before we let you go, lastly, Jefferson Koji recently was spotted in the United States of America. He went to Minnesota, wanted to meet with the former congressman who is now the Attorney General, so that they can put this behind them about the situation where his name was mentioned about the War Crime Court. We also heard that he went to California. You were in the state. George Weah sent you to America to establish some type of relationship with the U.S. or to lobby Riva, the guy, this lady who is not a Republican, she's a Democrat, Riva, to create some positive change for America. But we're hearing now, George Weah making this statement last year, and his folks are beginning to react to what he said last year in June, that nobody will walk the streets in Liberia when you insult the president. This is not democracy. This is completely dictatorial. But Jefferson Koji, who are perceived as the secret killer of George Weah, is coming to the U.S. They are hiring lobbyists to make the government look good. Do you really think, looking at that image that we saw today, Liberia can attract any investor?
It's not. Let me tell you something. Liberian people don't understand business segment. Majority of them don't. They think people just get and come to your country because you got gold and diamond. Yeah, the people that are going to come to your country to get gold and diamond, they say they're crooks, right? They come to exploit you to maximize the funds, and they call it high risk country. The barriers to entry in Liberia is very high, meaning the cost of doing business in Liberia, the human cost is very high. The likelihood that you will come back safe is very, 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 very low. All right. And looking at those images, a country without justice, no country, absolutely no country progress when you have no justice system, no equitable justice. We've seen that. And let me go back. And you and I both, we know where we're from. So I will say this. President Doe made that similar remark in the 90s. And said, Nima people, y'all get your children out of Nima. If you don't, you will not see them again. Oh, yeah. Now, we are saying that publicly that Liberian people cannot speak of his ills. Right. They will not be seen. They will not walk the streets of Monrovia. That is the day that we are comes down. It's just a matter of time. And you will. I see people here and say, come and you buy a dialysis machine, Kerry. Dialysis machine is not just a machine that people go and get dialysis. The environment has to also be conducive because the air after your body has been compromised, okay? The air that you inhale, the area that you in, the food you in, all of that has to be altered. So it's not just getting the medication and walking out. It's not that simple. We took a little girl last year from Liberia to Ghana. We were paying $3,000 a week until she died. The little girl died. Okay, and we've done that for many other people in there. You don't come on Facebook to announce. And I hear people on here and say, if Cummings don't like it, you should leave. No, Cummings not leaving. You all need to leave. Okay? Anybody who does not like what he brings to the table, they will leave. But he's not leaving. We are not leaving. We're here for the Liberian people and nobody. And, and people are being sarcastic because they think if the next person comes to power, they're going to have the same corrupt way that they have for 12 years. That one majority of them coming because they will be Ellington all over again. This is not where we're going to be heading. Now, like when people like Dara Dillon, they are going to be on board. Now, if we have new people with new ideas who are more transparent going to be on board. And people are asking, they embody this. No, that's we as job. My mother told me once, Liberians will ride a willing house to death. That's what they are doing. Liberians will ride a willing house to death. Then the person who treat them bad, then they will worship them. That's just, they're not the resources in the country. It's for the country. It's not for a man to spend it on girlfriend and boyfriend. And look at what he said he built. $50 million in Liberian are worshiping. But somebody comes here, very limited, telling me, oh, let him buy dialysis machine. No, he's not going to. He didn't steal the money from Liberian people. He worked for his money. Blood and sweat, he worked for it. He didn't sleep at home, okay? And he earned it. All the majority of your leaders who are rogues, okay? That's not the way. When people work for the money, they take time how to spend it. They take time how to position themselves. When people are thoughtful and informed and experienced and have character, they don't make a abrupt decision. They are not loud. They strategically position themselves. Like Woodrow Wilson said, they walk slow but with big stick. Okay, it's a dictator. It's not the only boy. The boy who protested in the January 6th protest, Barkley. That we are in people killed that boy. Okay, they're killing, and they have been killing people. There's a white picker. I think I said it before to you. There's a white picker truck in Liberia and a red picker truck. They go looking for people. They take them to the beach. They kill them. They bring them and drive them in the street in the neighborhood, wherever neighborhood they pick them up. They can't drive them. So we have Gestapos or Satu or Blackberry, wherever in Liberia going on. So we know this. So Liberians have to be careful. When Liberians are tired, they will stand up. And let me make this clear. When some of the people who you're screaming with now, when we were in the street protesting in 2018, they were nowhere around, okay? And we didn't do it for money. When people like Dolak and Franklin, Fubu, then were in the street, Emmanuel, then and Emmanuel Service, then were in the street, we had 3 protests in Liberia, okay? In fact, 4 in 2018. We had 3 protests, in fact 4 here in the United States. We went to the United Nations twice. Those very people were laughing at us. We went to DC. We went back to DC. And guys, guess what? I paid my way to go. The last time, Brother Ashford met me there. So y'all stop the worship.
And
y'all stop the worship. Okay?
It's not because of us, it's because of Liberia.
Yes.
But yeah, I want to say the big thanks to you. I know you have a show to do coming up. But we are going to talk again. We're going to have a one-on-one discussion.
I would love to have that, and we can chronicle. We can chronicle where we are as a nation, and where we are, and where we stand. Intelligent people just don't walk away from the table and start yelling the dog. That's the essence.
We have together to
exactly.
Make sure that the things that we are going through right now, we have got to do everything we have in our power to unseat this very corrupt and irresponsible president.
Everybody want welfare stuff. No, y'all hold your president accountable. That's what we need to do. Brother Ashford, thank you.
Yeah,
let me join this hour quickly. Thank you so much.
Radio Africa, the Ashford got it live, and we have, just before we go back to the game, we have this 623 number 329-0679. Tell us the name and where you call from.
This is George Lobo calling from Phoenix, Arizona.
There you go. George Lobo. Happy New Year, my brother. And welcome to the show.
I saw you asking me the other day. You said, where you been at this few days?
I asked whether you were still living.
I know. My work schedule.
Go ahead, my brother.
What is on my work schedule? I know. It's been tough. Before I used to be off. Yeah, what's good, my man?
You're live on the radio, my brother. Welcome to the show. We are so glad to have you on.
My man, thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure. I've been following it all day today, so I just wanted to kind of give one or two cents on a lot of things you've been saying, Ashford.
Go ahead, my brother.
At this particular point in time in Liberia, it seems like we are repeating ourselves. I know you sometimes refer to me as the political rebel, but it is the reality, Ashford. You said it all. We can only ask so you take a break, because there's nothing that I would say that you've not said. Maybe you just said it the other way around. But talking about George Weah is not prepared, he's incompetent, he's corrupt. Those are things we've said, and you know that we predicted some of these things, and I think you follow me, and you know that. But one thing that struck me, and you touched on it for a little bit, when you talk about the prevailing crisis in the country, and our president was out touring his urgent care, a military clinic. Ashford, I will tell you one thing in life. When people are not appreciative, sometimes they get the worst out of things. You see, I come from the former ruling party, and I've been very clear. And not everything the former ruling party did was right. I've been very, very clear on that, and I think you know that. Mm-hmm. But when people said that of everything that happened, nothing was done. Nothing was done. Ashford, we saw a $10 million hospital built in Nima They said nothing was done. We saw the redemption, the new redemption, groundbreaking, done. Nothing was done. We saw a $250 million road from Redhead to Kanta. They said nothing was done. We saw the construction of a hydro, $365 million. Nothing was done. We saw the pavement of major roads in Monrovia. Nothing was done as well. So today, I don't understand how these same people make the case now. Nothing has been done again. This is why you see, I think some of us too who claim to know the way in which we've been marketing our differences is what's giving us hard time. The fair argument that should have been made in 2017 was simple. Madam, and I will tell you today, that is one of the reasons why I respect Cummings for certain things. Cummings was one of the only opposition leaders who said, the madam have done a lot, but I can pick up from where she left and add to it. That would have been the most fair argument to make. Now, if you said nothing was done, Ashford, this is why it's difficult for you to convince the people today that George is not doing nothing. Because with everything that was done, you said nothing was done. So today now you want to come back to the city people and tell us nothing has been done. They will not believe it now. Because when Ellen was building roads, she was not inspecting those roads. She was not taking pictures. Unfortunately, now George is inspecting them and taking pictures. So how do you guys want to sell to the people now that George is not doing nothing? That is the problem we are having today. That is why the messaging is giving us hard time. And George, I will tell you today, George is exploiting it to the fullest. That is what he's doing. These guys are not doing nothing, Ashford. You listen to Lance Eugene Nangbe yesterday, the guy said, and I quote, the man said, our government is in its final stage of finalizing the securing of funding to begin the construction of the coastal highway. What does that tell you? That means since they came to power, they have not secured funding for any road. But all we hear these fools lying on Facebook, their government building roads, they change roads to roads. Oh, it's about roads. I say who, the girl or the roads? All you hear now is about roads. It's all about roads. You're naming 110-mile roads people have secured funding for, saying your government keep the power. They can't tell us. But when you hear them, they say the building road. This time they're so smart. They go around. They go to Ganta Highway. They take these road pictures. They post this that are accomplished. The road that was completed with 2016. So Ashford, we ourselves, we have a problem. And I will tell you today, George, it's a self-created problem. The reason why it will hurt the Liberian people more, this problem is a self-created problem. George, did not fight war to come to Monrovia. George, did not have to go through the butchers and chastity. It didn't have to be the secret. Liberians sat down for 12 years.
But George, I heard to call you George because I don't like to call that other George name. I heard to call you George. Now listen, today we are hearing this president in the midst of the crisis that we are in now. There's no gasoline in the country. He takes up yesterday and goes to the urgent care, aka the clinic,
military clinic.
And according to his press secretary, the clinic is 95% complete. But we're in a serious crisis. Where when you leave from Freeport to Dry West Market, you pay $400 Liberian dollars. $3,500 Liberian dollars for a gallon of gasoline in Banga. If you can find it.
Let me sum it up for you.
Go ahead, my brother.
Let me tell you what happened. The reason why you see George...
Now, while you're summing it up, we're not having problem shortage of oil. The oil feed them bombing, and they got a thing going. But in Liberia, we got problem with gas.
Because it's a self-created problem. Let me tell you what happened, Ashford. The reason why George normally, under any normal circumstances, a real president would have addressed the nation to acknowledge that there is a crisis. That's the first step of leadership. This is a crisis that has been ongoing for the last 6 days. The president should have said something about it. But I will tell you, Ashford, George will not do it because you know why? The Liberian people told this guy that they were not expecting anything from him. That whatever he do, they will take it. And at the end result, the guy understands it so well that he's riding them to, oh yeah, he's taking full advantage of them. You think about it, Ashford. Where in the world people are in long queues? This guy will leave and go inspect a project. You're not seeing the president summoning the LPRC boss, the finance minister, the National Investment Commission, the Ministry of Commerce, to be able to address this issue. No, the homeboy don't care. Because why? The Liberian people have shown to this boy that they don't expect anything from him. So at the end result, he really don't owe us anything. This is why when you're, no, I should think about it. 30,000 Liberians were homeless as a result of flooding in Monrovia. I said 30,000, I'm not saying 3,000. 30,000 Liberians were homeless as a result of flooding in Lower Margibi in Monserrato. What about it? And the man went to City Hall, were beating drum because he don't care. The man was beating drum to City Hall. He was on the ground dancing. A serious president. 30,000 of your citizens are without shelter. They are homeless. That is not an state of emergency. As for I will tell you, LPRC problem, the first thing we're hearing that there were discrepancy with regards to their books. So they didn't even know the exact amount of gasoline that was in the country. What does that speak to? Poor leadership, lack of accountability. You're running a government. You are the head of a country. You see, Ashford, sometimes I wonder if many Liberians, they say we speak English in Liberia, but it's not true. Many Liberians do not understand English. Many people just say they don't understand English. They don't. Because if you understood what it means to be a leader, if you understand what it means to communicate with your people as a government, 7 days now, your people have been without gasoline. When we say to the government,
and they say we're hoping at least for another 14 more days.
Okay, so that means so 21 days, Ashford. Think about it. But before this gasoline shortage, remember now, Ashford, TV hospital, all the government hospitals, they were without gasoline. They've been having those problems. You know that already. Their ambulance have not been moving. So you knew that. So the man who you say will make your life better, is this the condition under which your life gets better? Eh? And think about it, Ashford. When we say government is responsible to create a conducive environment for businesses to thrive, George, we don't understand what we mean by that. So George, he think that is going to Facebook Live and you're talking. When we talk about a conducive environment for businesses to thrive, the government is responsible to facilitate the movement of goods and services. Now, when there's no gasoline, will goods and services move? But Georgia is still talking, Liberia is open for business. That's why I say it. People don't comprehend in Liberia. English is our problem. Maybe we need to pick a local dialect that people will understand.
I said about Georgia, why they make cancel the retreat? They retreated in that gasoline they would take to go to the 15 political subdivisions. What's up with this retreat business when we're having a crisis already on hand?
Ashford.
Yeah.
Ashford. The very first thing, you cannot host a retreat to celebrate as a government when your country itself, you have reduced civil servant salary over 40%. You are in a slow economy. Inflation is at 33%. Only a stupid president will celebrate Canada. That's what I'll tell you. Georgia don't care. Because the Liberian people don't expect anything out of George. I'll tell you. This is why, even if George Weah wore a white shirt today, they will celebrate him. Because they elected him, they're not expecting nothing out of the guy. This is why everything the man does is an accomplishment for them. You know, Ashford, it's like how you decide to date a girl. People tell you they get bad. So you spend 1 week, she ain't cost nobody, you happy. You go another 2 days, she ain't saw nobody, you happy. How did the people looking with George? You think if Ellen had come to power and Ellen was doing the thing George doing, that country would not have been where it is today. But because they don't expect anything from this guy, think about it, Ashford. We still sitting at $25 million cannot be accounted for. The president ain't got nothing to do with it. The man pretend as if to say he don't know. The man initiated a wage harmonization that reduced people's salary, and the boss said, "Don't care, Ash." I will tell you, man. Today, that you said something earlier. I saw that video of people beating somebody for speaking against George. These are sad times in our country. These are sad times in our country.
But George, this is a peace ambassador. This is a man who told the people that he can't harm a fly. But you have Ofori there. You have Augustine Nagwe, Siafan Nama, DKB, all these ex-rebels. They are people that he affiliates with. And he has them in the budget. They are in the NSA budget, and they're going around protecting him, going after people who disagree with him. What does that say to you, George? Where are we headed?
What that tells me, Ashford, I will repeat again. Self-created problems is the worst you can have. The Liberians decided that this guy who could not manage a 23-man squad, this guy who brought division in the Lone Star, that this man could run a country. This man who just said he was the unifier, when Ellen hired him to lead the unification process of the country, the reconciliation programs of the nation, he could not do it. For you Liberians, you know, Ashford, I will tell you today. You see, the Liberian men, they're so fake to the point that George Weah is like the Liberian people lie have caught up with them. That is what have happened to them. They were lying for this guy too much. How he owned investments around the world. You never heard the story about a mineral water company that were migrating every year from Tanzania. Right? The Liberians were lying for this guy too much. You know, this is why I don't even regret anything.
We all know this.
You know, so what happened, Ashford? They lied to create this guy. That is what happened. And you see, Ashford, you and myself live in the Western world. Normally, when you go seek a job, they ask you for your resume, right? Then when you go to the interview, they begin to go over your resume. But for us in Liberia, we don't do it. We hire you for the job. Then we say, when you get the job, you'll go prepare yourself for the position. That is what they did with George. They agreed that George Weah was not qualified, but said the man will learn. Normally, the presidency is where people who already know what needs to be done come to deliver. But for George Weah, the Liberian people said, no, let the man get a job, then he will learn. So your country will wait, your children will be dying, your hospitals will close down because the man is learning. So by the time the man learns, maybe some of you will not be here. That's why I was telling you, some of you folks, if you don't see you, will see you on the other side. That's what it is. But I will say this, Ashford, George Weah is not a man of peace. A man of peace will not stand to his party headquarters in a major political season and say, I didn't come here today as the president because I came here to make flour. Little girl and tell her you. You remember that statement?
The man.
You remember that statement?
Very well.
That statement was not only childish, but was irresponsible and misrepresented.
But George Weah has
the
always
office
been
of the
irresponsible. I've said this and will continue to say this. You know, the man that beat Peking. The Liberian man said.
Okay, so as for you and myself know the man that beat Peking, but the Liberian people, you remember they were making all kind of resume for the man. The man that people was money out there. The man that this, the man will do this. As for I will tell you today.
But George, let me ask you, why Liberians are so gullible that today you heard a young man saying at the gas pump, right? And he said, I voted for him, but my kid now will not vote for him because he feel and he just saying this for now. But you know, and I know, the cheap breads will bring from India that giving a lot of people diabetes in our country. George Weah shows up with this. The next thing you know, the narrative will change.
Let me tell you, Ashford.
So what's going to happen for our country, man?
Ashford, let me tell you what will happen. I've been listening to many opposition political party supporters disagreeing, agreeing, making their own arguments for their individual candidates. I will say this to you, Ashford. I put this upon everything. If the opposition right now do not put their acts together, the likelihood to defeat George right now is at 65%. Today, where I sit, Ashford, I'm 35% convinced that George can win election. 35% today.
George,
take a
George, let me ask you this. Are you embarrassed that you publicly acknowledge the act of Wilmot Pay, right? And can you say, thank you, Mr. Chairman. And the next thing you know, Wilmot Pay gets suspended. And he's in a position right now where he's fighting for his life. He intends to return to the Unity Party. What do you
Let me tell you what happened, Ashford. You know, when it comes to Wilmot Pay's statement that was made and what has happened, and now he's going to quote, I will tell you this. Since the executive committee did an investigation, we are not in Liberia. We don't know what Chairman Pay saw. But I believe that in as much as the Unity Party went to a convention in Banga, and the Unity Party at that time entrusted Chairman Pay and elected him, they must have known what they were getting into. And I think as a party, if something happens, it is incumbent upon us as leaders of the party to make sure the executive committee be the one to discipline the chairman. That is what I believe. Whatever led to the chairman who has the political party to make statements, I am just a member of the party. And as a result, the chairman is the highest in the party.
But did you contact the executive committee as to whether Wilmot Pay consulted them before he came up with that statement?
Let me say this to you, Ashford, right?
No, you beat me now. You beat me in the Unity Party. You're not just ordinary boy. I will just come out and sit in the car on the drive and say something. At the time when you spoke as a big man for Unity Party here in the Americas.
Let me say this to you, right? We know how communication flow, right? We believe that Chairman Pay as the chairman on the ground. That's not something I have to be teaching. I strongly believe that once the chairman spoke, all those mechanisms of all those measures have been met. Because you've heard Chairman Pay. It was the same Chairman Pay, you remember, who delivered Ellen Johnson's birthday message. We didn't question that. You remember? So we were not turn it today because there was a statement made we didn't like. So in as much as we didn't question all those other things, we believe that when the chairman speaks, that the chairman have made sure that it met the full consensus of the party. So as a member of the party and as a leader, I cannot discredit what the chairman is saying until after we all find out what happened. So that's what happened. But I will say this to you only when it comes to the party. I've been very clear with my own party, Ashford. I strongly believe very little have been done from an opposition perspective to defeating the CDC. And I'm telling you, we will be caught off guard. The CDC, thank God for the U.S. government. The CDC was not smart. When they put Crow to Central Bank these few days, they thought Crow were there to help them. No, they didn't go there to help you. No. The people know that you guys are rogues. They just didn't want you guys to lay your hands on $35 billion. That's all they put in there for. So now what they did, the very first thing you heard the man say, you people don't have the ability to fully transfer $4 billion. That's why you have not printed your first money yet.
George.
Because the guys want to just be a blockade between you. That's all they're there for. They're not there for nothing.
George.
Why would the U.S. government get a man $17 million? For what thing? They're not offering monetary policy to you. They're just going to be asking your questions because they know you stole the first money. That's all they're doing.
George, I want to thank you for the positives you bring to the discourse as always, my brother. And we have others in line that want to.
My man, let me definitely take a leap. I want to say. Let me conclude on this. But I want to say
30
thank
seconds,
you.
Please. 30 seconds, because I have to bring Evangeline Mommy Todd on. 30 seconds, please.
Let me say this. Thanks to you, Ashford. I know I haven't been having the time, but I'm glad. Continue to do what you're doing. I admire the commentary. I like the soccer, the soccer match. And to all you Liberians, all of us out there who are against this government, we need to put aside our differences. We need to find things that we can hold together on, because we all will not be right. We all will not be wrong. But we need to agree upon something to defeat the CDC. On this note, Ashford, I want to say thank you. Thanks to the family up there as well. Until then, my man, I'll be following the show.
God
Thank you very much.
Man. We appreciate you, and thanks as always, my man. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the voice of Mr. George Lobo from the state of Arizona, making his presence known tonight on Ashford Garley Live this afternoon on BridgeRadioAfrica.com. Please join me as we welcome Miss Mami or Evangeline Mamita from the state of Arizona. Welcome to the show, Mami.
Thank you, Ashford. By the way, it's from Chicago, the Windy City.
No, Illinois is a state. Chicago is a city.
No, I say it's from Illinois. That's what I mean.
Okay, Illinois and the city of Chicago. I know. Okay,
yeah.
Is it South Side?
Oh, from the east.
Okay, you're from the east. Welcome to the show, my sister. And what is on your mind tonight?
Liberians are feeding a snake and they're calling it a pet. This is what they're doing. We going to this thing is just starting. Look, let me tell you, people are saying, and I keep preaching this, and that doesn't mean I don't believe in education. Most of our parents, they are not educated, but they have common sense. We are dumb. We are just big in size, but our brain haven't grown yet. And we can fight it all we want. I'm saying this because, I think 2 days ago, this man went again in public, my territory. Moreover for you, Liberia for you, now, you are telling Dylan, telling the CDC how they sat there and Dylan took a territory. What type of remark? And this guy, he's not going to change. One, I'm giving an example. Since the man came on a devising it, that's all he on. Right now, he's using Grand Gita, and I will keep pointing Grand Gita out. I don't care whether they hit me. If I go in the public, the one that want to kill me, they can go ahead. He just using us. We do not care about Grand Gitians. Because he's like, okay, everybody kind of going away from me. These are the only people. So, okay, let me grab them. But what a sensible man would have done, you will not lay on one side. You will say, okay, I'm losing ground here. What would I do to bring Liberians together and not divide it? And some of our brother and sister, the thing, because we are building and we are saying great big hospital, so I should say to hell with all the other Liberians. No, a person that has moral, you don't behave, you don't think like that. Today at work, my brother, I was talking to this lady at work, and she and myself were arguing. Oh, says mommy, but in Nimba, Ellen Township built hospital for the Nibadian, and what they call it, some kind of hospital, and Jassy Hebdo hospital. She neglected Grand Gita. I said, and you think when we are neglecting other people now is good? It's not good either way. We shouldn't do that. And today, people, we went through the war. It was like they kind of gang, everybody gang on us. And now, easily we coming back again. You're leaning one side again. Then tomorrow when something happens, they start, innocent people start going after people. And I'm not saying that's what brought the war. But what we is doing right now, war going to come back in our country. And I know people say, oh, it's actually Tasha when she won war in Liberia. Those that don't like it, they will twist their words, which I really don't care. But we in denial. We're sitting down here saying, oh, the another technique that they use, as soon as you talk, what you're contributing. From 1990, y'all know what we have contributed? We the people that in the diaspora, because I build mansion in Liberia, yes, so I don't contribute. We send money, Western Union, even some of all the canceling us. They don't want us to send money. But they will sit on their, excuse my language here, on their asses and start insulting the diaspora you have. And the other day they fired this young girl, patient, what they call her, patient, bully.
Bully, yeah.
Yeah, and people, they supple and they neighbor, they cry, all those things. They when the war came on, it was those things we started fighting among ourselves, and slowly that how these things start. Right now, the soul is there. We putting bandage on it, and we say we healing it. Oh yeah, well, we are taking. And I hear some of them boasting about it in the community. Yeah, then wait, they will see. Whoa, kill them one. This person called me. I don't want to call name on here, my brother. We'll see. The one that will do to them, it will be worse than what they say. And I'm like, this dictatorship behavior, your thing when you're killing people on a cover, on the ground, that you'll get away with it, that the other people will not retaliate. Do you know those were the one, those big mouth one, those were the same one that were beyond door. One time they started throwing their walkie-talkie in the Kavara River and running away. So I asked the person, I said, saying you were that strong, why you didn't stay beyond door? And some of you run away. And you're coming back again. We have to be careful. And I keep saying it. I've been consistent, my brother. Since 2000, I never changed my tone because I hate dividing it.
There you go.
Even in the regular community.
Last week, Friday, you know, I do the program from Monday through Thursdays, right?
Yeah.
And last week, Friday, I came on here and I even extended an invitation to the ministry, the Liberian government, and when I spoke to Eugene Nagbe, he sent somebody from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, right?
Yeah.
And they said we're going to do everything they can, you know, to make sure that this lady is laid to rest. So my supporters and my fans were very concerned, and they are on here tonight, and they say, Ashford, we are going to support you. We raised almost $1,200, I think $1,139, right?
Yeah.
And now we're hearing that this is just breaking news. We're hearing now that they have seized the body of the diplomat. The hospital has seized the body of the diplomat in Tunisia because the government of Liberia is so irresponsible. They can't afford to pay the hospital bill and the embalmment for the body to be transferred to Liberia. This is just coming in. What kind of country is this?
Yes. And see right there. And yesterday, I know the minister came on here speaking BP terminology to confuse people. I know you think who you talking to. Well, all of them. And you'll see most of these guys in Monrovia or in Liberia turning to the government because this is what the government have done. It's that they're squeezing their balls. Because when you're not paying people, they're going to join you. It's like a society of which you in a town, everybody, when you do that, you don't do it, you will not be part of it, you will not enjoy it. So, how can I feed my children? No job. Everybody's struggling. So this is what the government is doing. So you will see people who you expect to have a principle or integrity, they will start losing their integrity because there's no job.
Thank you so much for the time. And as always, and thanks for the support. You know, the time that you take out all the time to help us out. You know, and a lot of people don't even know. If I had to be on the radio by 6 o'clock,
before I leave,
planning 2 hours. Before then.
Yeah.
So if the regular joy, if I leave it now and come here, and I gotta survive too. So we say that people chip in with the cash out, give us small thing because this is what we have passion for. And I can guarantee you, if you can do what you have to do, not the government of Liberia, because when they want to come here, we'll charge them for them to come on here. Even the politician, those who will be in the opposition when they want to come on the show, we'll charge them to come here. But for us to still, we have equipment worth about $55,000. Something that I personally built because I have passion for the radio and the microphone.
Yeah.
So we built this all by ourselves.
Yeah. But
and with the support of the wife. So any there what they can put on fire, whether that $5, that $10, you know, we would appreciate that. But in the meantime, we want to say thank you as always. In 30 seconds, go ahead.
That we found a day, maybe like a Sunday or whatever day you have, for us to make it a special day just for donation, like the way we did the other day. We were focusing on the ambassador daughter. If we can do that for you, you can find a date and we'll see what we can do.
Sounds good.
What do you think?
It sounds good, my sister. Thank you so much. And we're going to go back to the field of play right now and conclude this game because the way Lone Star won score goal and Society Ill won score goal too, maybe anybody can score tonight. So thank you, my sister.
Ashford,
thank you so much.
Brother Ashford, before you let me go, I just want people listening to your radio all over the world. I want people that are listening to me. When those Nigerians were,
you know, Ella, we have 45,000 people right now listening just on the radio alone. People from Ukraine, people from Dubai, Egypt, Iraq.
I want the Nigerians to listen to me. Please listen to me. I used to go on live show to talk to the president for the Nigerians that were in jail. So when he came to power, I think almost 2 years, when he saw people talking, he went, and I'm like, no. Then people in the Liberia, in the Nigerian community expecting me, they were calling me, eventually, so what you say to the president now? And I'm like, congratulations, but it's long overdue. And then the session thing in our community, they started because first there was other people that were free. I don't know, they got free. We never donated money towards those people, but when those 3 people were something, I don't know which session they came from, they started making it like, we have to donate. And I'm like, you know what, if I want to do something, I'll do it. You don't force me. Just because I talk against it, having the Nigerian in jail, that doesn't mean you have to force me to donate. If I want to do something, I'll do it. I don't go by what people say. I'm not a follower. And I just want this to be known. That doesn't mean I'm not glad my brothers then or whoever they are in jail, they are free. I tell the president, thank you. But that was long overdue. Thank you.
Okay. Mommy Child making the precious known here tonight. And folks, I'm telling you, we have to. I'm telling you, and everybody is so upbeat right now. Societal ills, albeit they want to stop, they want to score. What the ball talking? Emery Benson. Who you laughing at here? You get a mind.
People, we choose success.
You know, and as we come to the end of the game tonight, folks, I'm telling you, we're looking at players here, and we're also saying, we're looking at players here where we Mr. Abi Brahman Baynat just asked for us to paint the cash app who just did, and I see the linesman number 1 is the Senate, linesman number 2 House of Representatives, and they're all here tonight. Then the cheerleaders, you know, the cheerleader of the governor of Liberia, I see Clark Weir, Piso City Tar, Safwa Melgray, you know, George Weir and Joy Howard Taylor can see eye to eye right now. Joy Howard Taylor will appear at some of the program, but the expression, the body language alone will tell you that there's something going on. I also see Emma Glasgow. Then I see the overnet handbag for George Weir. You know, Noah Fina Bondo. I also see Joad Nessie Cassell, Polito Way, Polito Wa, Polito Wa Way, Polito Kaute We, Abigail. We say that the woman when George Weir said, today, you cancel all the laissez-passer. Nobody can count la break with laissez-passer. Can you imagine that Abigail Wilson then can take care of that one? Then they say native against native. All these people are players now tonight, you know? Yeah, the country people against their own country people now. We also see Little Sherman, Dino Nimbo, aka Ice Cream. This is George Weah's play tour. Then we see Mama C Kaba, Memuna Carr, Nimane Pearson. Nimane Pearson, we all know this is my little sister. Her older brother and myself went to college together. We graduated the same year from college together. But Nimane Pearson is the one that can bring all the fun girls in. And then when she brings 3 girls, George Weah will make it 4 and she make it 5. Then they all play tactic together in the room. Now what did they do? George Weah liked that kind of thing. Princess Tukla, Estelle Liberty, Titi Jipro, Ellen Cochran. Ellen Cochran right now, the place she's at right now. You know George Weah is very smart from the waist below and very slow from the chest above. Anything that you bring to George Weah, the moment that thing touches his thigh below, he will perform in a way that you will never believe it. That's the kind of person George Weah is. So George Weah is doing some type of formation from me to you. He connects McGill connection, and the next thing you know, Ellen Cochran is happy. She praises George Weah to be one of the best things that ever happened to Liberia. This is the kind of thing we're going through in that country. Then we get George Weah godparents. Now, be careful when somebody say you my godman. When they say you my godparent, then that's some type of. When they say you my godman, then mean you can play tactic in the net. So George Weah has Yvette Freeman and Jim Mama Water Collie, like his godman. Then they all can play tactic. You know, so the older women then they left a small boy to touch them. When a small boy touch them, then they can wake up. And when they wake up, then I trouble. Then I big trouble. Back to the field of play, folks. The ball is now in the middle of the field. The ball comes to corruption. Corruption looks around to Ungrateful Cobra. Ungrateful Cobra, aka Kwere, aka Kwea, aka Mona Youngblood, aka Waterbird. Waterbird looks around to Pay Me Weah. Pay Me Weah to Strategic Marriage. Strategic Marriage looks around to I like my business private. And most of the men I can tell you say they like their business private. These are the men who when they see you now, you're doing smarty, you're not shake from the waist below. The next thing, as soon as they get outside, then they start calling people. Martino, last night was Jay Marimo. You know, they think they call it, they're not news anymore. You know, yeah, man. Come on, you adore your big boy. Come on now. They say you know, but they get nobody you too. Then you go around and tell people now. They get that nobody, they get there. You say you go to can, then you get something. You get something, then you cheap too. You can't put your hand in your ass bucket, and you come around and say, Martino, come on now, they're not news, man. Please behave yourself. Then the ball comes to legs open, butt open between 1 a.m. and 5 a.m. in the morning in Liberia. All kinds of bad things are happening in that country. Back to the field of play, the ball comes to D-hole cover hole. D-hole cover hole to Opion King Kong, aka Akaras Moses Gray. D-hole cover hole back to Opion King Kong. Opion King Kong to Whitey Black Hap. Whitey Black to Sierra to Vagra. Vagra to Beta Cola. Beta Cola to Papa Drink Mama Happy. When your pa drinks and your man gets happy, you know somebody is shaking from the waist below. And when you shake from the waist below, the next thing you know, then somebody will lay back. And when you lay back for 9 months. Now 9 months passes, the next thing you know, you get brother or sister because somebody stroke from the waist below. Papa drink, mama got happy, and the wife ended up happening. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we want to go on the field of play right now. With please unmute the phone, Mrs. Roberts and Mr. Clinton. What do you have on the field right now that we don't see yet from VIP? Let's hear from Letty first. Letty Brooks Roberts. What do you have? Don't tell me Letty tired down. Okay. Letty.
Too much. Yeah.
Letty, go ahead, my sister. We're listening to you. What do you have around the field, man? The people are watching. What do you have?
We have at gate 9 some juicy roasted red snapper.
Okay.
And that's brought to us by Vida Thunder.
Vida yet tonight. I ain't even see Vida all night.
Oh yeah, Vida
said she was going to bring me some Hennessy. I ain't see Vida yet tonight. You saw Vida on the field?
Unless I last night knows, but I think that someone is there.
Oh wow.
No, Vida is here. This is
welcome
tonight.
To the show, because you told me say you're going to bring something, you know, for the thing. But listen, on a very serious note, I'll let you, as you go on, tell the people to visit the Cash App now. It is 248-979-1718. Yeah, it's been over an hour now, nothing happening. You know, we can't stay on here. You know, you got to shift in the ways below. Shift in the way below for our end is the Cash App, you know?
Yeah,
go ahead.
This is true. You know, when you were interacting with the callers, these people should have been paying some fines, but because, you know, things were quiet, everybody was trying to listen. But, you know, as you know, we have also, somebody was asking about some Kool-Aid and bread when Yasini was talking. So go to VIP at gate 1. We have Kool-Aid bread and egg by Farhan Joe. We also have some juicy peppermint chiclets by Terry Choir. We have palm wine, $5 a cup. Chile Adjuvant just arrived. So you can grab some of our palm wine before the game ends, and people start, you know, those logos at the end of the game that start rushing to get discount. We have juicy roasted cassava fish, which was brought with salad by our own sis Terry Choir again. Wow. The goat pepper soup, I believe I told you guys about that earlier. Hot goat head is only for men. I says Mamita. So if you know what I know, you know what you're working with.
Mamita said goat head for only men. What do you mean?
Men only. Me, I can't interpret that with her back to talk.
You gotta have some type of pink lip to visit that kind of thing.
Mr. Garley, I will let Mamita interpret that herself.
Hey, George W. Willis III.
She'll put it on.
Mamita, please specific. Go ahead, sis. We're listening to you. Go ahead for only men.
Yeah, well, go ahead for, and she said, "Not no foolish men either."
Yeah, you gotta have pink lip because you see the man with the pink lip, man, you've been doing that. Go ahead, been there for a very long time because my name will put me down. But anyway, go ahead, sis.
Okay, I think I'll turn it over to Mr. Abiba Clinton. But again, to our viewers, please do make a note of the Cash App. As you know, we have payroll, we have other, you know, things to meet, and we beg your indulgence. Nothing happens for free, you know, as our host has to prepare for this show and other things to keep it going. You know, the commentary is he has to think about things, you know. So please, let's make this interactive. Let's enjoy the show. And oh, by the way, just so you know, if you have anything you want to advertise, you can bring it here to Bridge Radio as well. For a nominal cost, we'll do your voiceover and all of your advertisements.
Not easy. I'm gonna take one now. Yeah, I mean she can't look for money now for the company, which is a good thing. But listen, let us go to Habiba. Habiba, what do you have?
Well, as from my end, I don't have that much. In fact, the light is so dim, and we don't even hardly see the activities. Where Letty is. We only see you from a far distance, but the place is very dark. You know, there's whole thing about electricity problem. We asked the people here, they said got transformer problem tonight. So the place is so dark. I didn't see two players.
Wow. Okay. And eventually, Mami tried to send to Letty. I'm at the gas station waiting for Sunshine to give some gas, and Celia Ashford is saying, "Me, pa, I'm not selling nothing tonight. Maybe she's on strike. I don't know what's happening. And we'll also see Ella B. Man Dan what? Shaking from what? Shaking from somewhere. And that what was gold favor per diem. And I also see that Ann Payne is saying that he is really too much. And Helena Moldba. This is somebody that actually knows me. And she says, "Ha, big boy, Jollitown baby. You know, I grew up in Jollitown." So Helena Moldba, thanks for the recognition. My old sister from back home, George W. Wallace III, is in the building. And folks, I'm telling you, we have got you to deal with. Again, God willing, we will be back tomorrow, same time, same place. But before we leave here, the game ended today with nobody scoring. Liberia 0, Societal Ill 0. Maybe tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Not 8 o'clock, 6 p.m. U.S. time. That is Eastern Standard Time. We'll be here for the game. The time has changed now. So tell your friends, tell all your friends, those that used to wait for 8 o'clock. I know some of them are waiting now to say, oh, that at 8 o'clock or already after 8 and 9 o'clock now. So tomorrow, 6 p.m. for the game. I will allow Mr. Habiba Clinton, the fact that he's in Liberia, it's almost 2 o'clock, to give us his parting comments. Mr. Clinton.
I'll just say thank you very much, and we hope it'll be tomorrow as we get it out, we'll get playing and get having some of those activities that are going to be unfolding of tomorrow. So I hope to catch you when we catch you. Have a pleasant good night.
The force of Habiba Clinton, and let us now go back to the lady for information highway. Our lovely sister, Mrs. Letty Brooks Rabbits. Your parting comments.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Garley. As we close the show tonight, I just want to admonish the Liberian people that in this game of life, we have to choose nationalism and patriotism over party and personality. It is choosing personality and party that got us where we are. No one comes with instructions or knows how to be a president. However, from your life, story, we can learn that, or we will see what you bring to the table. Yes, sometimes we'll be wrong in judging character because people tend to change based on where they are. Like Michelle Obama said, the presidency doesn't change you, it just reveals who you are. So on that note, Liberians, the change that we want, we have to fight for it. We can't just wait for other people to come from all over the world. Liberians, right in Liberia, have to stand up to this chaos. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your listening audience. Thank you for always coming to support. We love you and continue to contribute to this platform. Thank you.
Thank you. And that's the voice of Mrs. Letitia Brooks Rabbits. All right, making the presence known tonight as one of the staunch contributors, members of British Radio Africa Decade, and Mr. Habiba Clinton, and the rest of the crew in Liberia. Our technical director, Mr. Bob Bowley, and this guy is very hardworking. You might not see him come on every now and then, but you saw the video yesterday where British Radio was live, reporting the shortages of gasoline in the country, and it was through the instrumentality of Mr. Bob Bowley. We just got out Mr. Israel Duncan on board as well. He is the technical director. And ladies and gentlemen, before we go home tonight, we also like to say a big thanks to the chief patron for the month, for the entire month of February, Mr. Emmanuel Decola. Mr. Emmanuel Decola, we can't thank you any further for what you've done and continue to do for the people. And tonight, before we go, folks who were exclusively in VIP hanging with Mr. Emmanuel Decola. Those who tonight, not last week, not the week before, but just tonight, those who went to cash out and say, you know what, you guys are doing some great things here, and the people in Liberia, they have got to be compensated for the kind of stuff you people do here. Mrs. Sarah Putu Way, want to say a big thanks to you. We also like to say a big thanks to Abid Brahima Benda. Thank you so much for your contribution. We love you. And may God continue to bless you for what you've done and continue to do just for British Radio Africa. Nyan Sandolo, we also like to say a big thanks to you as well. Continue the big work, the great job that you're doing. It's not about us, but it's about people of Liberia. Then Catherine Jones, thank you, my darling sister, for what you did tonight in terms of your contribution. And we also have Pamilia King Bayoka. Thank you so much. May God continue to bless all of you. Then our sister, Pauline Maximo, thank you so much for the contribution. And Payne, as always, thank you. And all of you supporters that continue to come on here tonight. Not only tonight, but every now and then, the Evangeline Mamita, we can't pay you people. We were just on from 8 p.m. We changed the time, and look at you. You are still here. God willing, we will be back tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night, from 6 p.m. to 8. Until then, folks, please allow me to borrow the weddings of the wise men. Tough times don't last. Tough people do. The heart of a man is never known until he rises, and there's no second chance to make that first impression. When God bless you, don't say that medicine. Don't see okra and swallow bone, because you can't hide your nakedness from beef and bucket. This has been yours truly. The people just giving a brand new name. Ashford the Giant, that now you know me, one copy, Garley. Have a good night.
Champion.